All right, it's Thursday night, and where's Jerry? Anybody seen Jerry? Jerry,
Um,
Jerry, Jerry. Oh wait, he's on vacation.
He's on the beach, right?
He's
do
on the
we need to
beach.
put out
He's
an
on the
APB for
beach.
Jerry?
Put on an APB for Jerry. He's drinking Michelob water at on the beach right now.
I'm sure. I doubt he's doing it right now. It's 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, he would. Oh, there's Tim. All right. So, but how you guys doing, man? So I have nobody. Drew, you could co-host. You could introduce everybody.
Okay, hey, great. Thank you guys. That's the BS sessions with
There
Mark
he
and
is.
Jerry. Jerry's not here, so I'll be taking over. I really hope I do this right. I've never done this before. I'm very excited.
Let's make sure you introduce us.
But what we're going to be doing, we're going to be revealing our top 11 of the 1990s. And we are picking different bands, different artists that have not been picked before because we've been going through this list with the 70s, 80s, and there's no repeats. So that's what makes this fun. And then we'll continue on until we're done. Joining us today, we have Joseph Staub. What's up, Joe?
Hopefully, my T-shirt is not too revealing of what my list might be, but gotta have some fun with this. I'm really excited. The '90s, I think, are a little bit of a less talked about decade in music, and I think there's some really great stuff in the '90s, especially these bands that I'm going to talk about today. And I'm really excited to talk about it with all you guys, like usual.
All right.
Also,
All right.
Tim, great hat. Love that hat from you, Tim.
Here we go, Steve.
And also, we got Tim Wirasnik with us tonight. How's it going, Tim? Sporting the Steelers
Peace.
hat.
Nice to see everybody.
Good to see you. And also, we got the Mooger Fooger in with us tonight. What's up, Mooger?
Hey man, I'm sitting in for my very dear friend Fabio Vegas. He had some personal matters to attend to this week, so I said I would sit in. Mark was kind enough to ask me, and here I am. Happy to be here. It's very rare I'm here on a Thursday night with you guys,
Yeah.
so happy
Yeah,
to
well,
be
thanks
here.
for being here with us. And also, we got Mark Daly. How's it going, Mark? Do you like Huey Lewis in the News? Wrong decade.
Yeah, I forgot to change that.
Yeah, you did forget to change it.
Well, technically, you
I
can
was
have it the
gonna
same for
change
next
it
week.
to, or you the two boys that painted my cat blue, something like that, or whack it off my tool shed. When you think of '90s, you got to talk about Beavis and Butthead. But I'm doing
Yeah.
fine. Thank you for having me on.
When did American Psycho come out? Was that '99 or 2000? It could be.
Yeah.
It could work.
No.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's true.
And also, we have the namesake of the show, Mark Alden Taylor. What's up, Mark?
What's up, guys, man? Glad you guys are all here. I miss Jerry, man. It's like I feel like Doug and Bob McKenzie when we're getting separated. Later, hoser. Bye, hoser. Where are you going?
I think I did a good job of introduction.
I know. I'm just joking. I'm joking because
Andy might have done this once or twice before.
I know it's like freeform. If Mooger or Jerry aren't there, it kind of feels a little lopsided, but we get through it. It's pretty cool. It's like I like the whole gang together. It's awesome. But tonight, man, like he said, we're doing the '90s, and we'll get into like how we came up with our list and what we didn't put on the list, why we didn't put something on the list. There's a lot of artists from the '90s that I love, but I want to put up these maybe obscure, more '90s artists that had a lot of albums. I even put down how many albums they released in the '90s, so you guys could see these guys are pretty active in that decade. And there's a lot of artists that I might have picked that you guys picked. I know I got Jerry's list here. He's got a couple that I picked, and two of them I had to pick because I love them. But let's get into the BS, man. Let's see. Do you guys know Sonny Curtis? He wrote the classics I Fought the Law, Walk Right Back, and a theme for Mary Tyler Moore's show.
Yeah.
Love is all around. Died Friday of sudden illness. He was 88. You guys ever hear of him?
Oh, yeah.
Heard the songs, never heard of him.
I never heard of him either, but I heard well, I Fought the Law, and I just go, that's
Yeah,
right
he
there.
did-
I got to mention
He
it.
did the original version before the Clash covered it.
Yeah, I fought. That's the one I remember.
And
I
Bobby
didn't know that.
Fuller did it first.
Bobby Fuller. Yeah, it's fucking pretty
That's
cool,
Bobby
man.
Fuller 5.
Yep.
Bobby Fuller 5. Well, man, condolences to you and your family, man. Thank you for the great songs. I remember the Mary Tyler's Moore show. If
Oh, yeah.
you're like a old person like me, you know all those repeats. You didn't see them live You know, I barely got MASH towards the end and Happy Days towards the end, you know. But I did see Three's Company when that came on. So this is pretty cool, man. Thank you for the music. And then we move on. You guys Star Wars fans in here? I'm I'm this guy's fan. Mark Hamill turned 74 today, man. Happy birthday, Mark Hamill, man.
Happy birthday.
We love you. And I was reading John Bogoya said the fucked up thing about the Star Wars movies he did, what he wanted to do, he wanted to kill fucking Han Solo. He wanted to fucking got rid of Luke Skywalker, and he would have made it. He would have made it go along with the way it was going. He said he wanted to got rid of those. It was dumb. He said, "Why kill
Well, if
it?"
you read any of the sequel books, it's pretty similar. The books that were written in like the late '80s, early '90s, they killed Chewbacca in that one of the books.
Ooh.
The Han Solo and Leia's son was turned evil. Like it was. They took a lot of the ideas, and of course, everyone that knows Star Wars knows that Harrison Ford wanted to kill Han Solo for years. Back into the, they weren't sure if that was why they froze him in carbonite at the end of Empire Strikes Back, because they weren't sure he was going to agree to star in a third movie, and if he wouldn't have started it, they were gonna save him, and accidentally died. That was just what it was going to be. So I mean I've never understood that criticism of Force Awakens. Oh, they killed Han Solo. We're lucky that we had him for as long as we did. We're lucky that he even agreed to come back and die, because he could have just said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Yeah, but he keeps doing those Indiana Jones movies.
It's because he likes that character a hell of a lot more than he likes Han Solo.
I know. I like all the Indiana Jones movies. I'm sorry.
He likes
I
the
like them all.
paychecks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, he also does genuinely like doing those movies a lot more than he likes doing Star Wars, I think. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Also, Mark Hamill, I think people undersell him as, oh, he's Luke Skywalker. He's done so much great stuff outside of being
voice
Luke
work.
Skywalker. The greatest voice of the Joker to ever exist. A ton of great voice work. He played a great villain in Criminal Minds. He was a really, really great, creepy villain in Criminal Minds, one of the big season finales of Criminal Minds. He's done a ton of stuff.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Cockmaker.
all kinds of little kind of cameo roles. He was hilarious when he was on Big Bang Theory, when he showed up on Big Bang Theory. But just he is a very versatile actor that people kind of always pigeonhole as, oh, he's Luke Skywalker.
Don't forget about Corvette Summer. I love that movie.
He's done a ton of stuff that people forget about.
Well, if you're going to be pigeonholed.
I mean, yes, but I mean, that of all the roles he did, that was a pretty. It didn't take a lot of necessarily acting range to do Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And I think that he showed a ton of great range later on in his career, especially doing the Joker. I mean, anyone who watched Batman the Animated Series in the '90s, or any of the sequel movies that came out that he's been involved in, or played the Arkham Asylum games,
video games.
He just had a phenomenal voice for voice acting, especially doing that character.
All right, so then we move on to next year. Baseball will implement the automatic ball strike system. You get 2 challenges, I guess, and if you like football, if you challenge, you get to keep challenging. But
like they do with their current challenges.
Yeah, but I don't understand. They only get 2. You know how many bad calls are in a baseball game? I saw 3 of them yesterday.
Yeah, but how slow is it going to be if they challenge every single pitch?
That's kind of true. But
you'd have people taking advantage of that if they just don't like what an ump's calling.
I'm kind of happy because in an important game that could change the game around.
Well, why don't they just put the earpiece in the umpire and tell him if it's a ball or strike?
Because that just takes away the human factor.
Yeah, well, we need umpires.
But the problem is the umpire's human factor is ruining the game.
You don't want a robot umping your games. You want a robot there for.
They have that anyway now.
But you want it there for as a fact checker. But you don't want it. You don't want to completely take umpires out of the game.
You know, once you've opened Pandora's box,
it's going to end up that way within the next 10 years. I guarantee you. But I think that this is not as bad as people are making it out to be. I think this particular version of it could be good. Now, of course, like anything, they're probably going to end up taking it too far, like they do in any sport, which I have thoughts on some other sports rules right now. But
yeah, but the thing is that it takes less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's short. It's sweet. You know, they just ask, They they go. They look at the square. It takes less than 10 seconds to come up with the right answer. I'm all for this.
Yep.
I love it.
And it'll still take an hour.
No, that's
No,
on
I'm
instant.
telling
That's
you.
on instant replay for safe calls. That they're looking at every fucking angle.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think you shouldn't cherry pick it. If you're gonna do it, just go ahead and do it. None of this like, well, you get a challenge. You know what I mean? It's
Well, because baseball's 2 hours to 3 hours long anyway, so you need it, and that's why we got the pitch clock, which I
Well,
I kind of like now.
Well, because
Oh,
also
I love
the reason that they're not fully implementing it as the only umpire is because it has proven that it's not always reliable. It's reliable at a large percentage of the time, but it's not. There's been some tests done where they're calling balls. They're calling balls down by the knee strikes. They're calling strikes down the middle of the plate balls, and you can't always rely on it. So that's why it's if it's only going to impact 2 to 4 pitches a game, depending on how many times the teams use it during the game, that's different than it calling every single pitch.
I would save my challenges for the 7th inning on.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you're going to see nobody's going to be doing challenges.
No.
Unless the bases
First
are
inning.
loaded.
Depends on the situation. If it's bases
Yeah.
if it's bases loaded and it's early in the game and they call your big batter out on two-strike call, that's obviously a ball. That's a good time to use it, probably.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things where there's gonna be a ton of analytics and like different managers using it different ways. They're gonna have strategies as far as using the challenges.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
And I think that's gonna add an interesting element to the game. In my opinion. I think there's going to be teams that are going to be able to use the challenges well. There's going to be teams that are going to waste it. There's going to be teams that are just not going to be smart enough to use it correctly. It's what it's going to be.
There was a blatant call last night against it was Arizona got screwed on this call, but eventually the guy got out anyways. Max Muncy, the guy threw strike 3 straight down the middle and he called it a ball. How did you miss a call down the middle? I was like, that was fucked up. But the next pitch, they got Muncy out, so that was okay. But in the other thing, like in the one, Henriquez threw a fucking slider right at the bottom, hit the strike zone. They called it a ball, and the next pitch, the guy hits a game-tying sacrifice. It should have been strike 3. So, like, I'm all for this because Dave Roberts could have challenged that, and Arizona could have challenged.
See, the thing though is, I think what people might be a little disappointed about is those borderline calls that look like they might just barely be in the strike zone. You don't know what this robot ump is going to call that.
Well, this was above the strikes on both. One was down the middle, and one was right in there.
But like the one that's just barely there, you don't know what this ABS is how touchy this ABS is gonna be. It might call that a ball.
Yeah. All right. So anybody else talk about baseball? I know Mooger's not into baseball. But we got the playoffs coming. Dodgers clinched their division. I'm sorry about your Astros. I truly am, Andy.
No, we did. We had about a decade of dominance. I'm fine.
The Astros are still in it. They can still make it work.
But they're not going to go for it. They don't have the team that's built for it. They've been through too many injuries this year.
I think the Mariners are going to be one and done. That's just.
I think the Mariners are going to go all the way. The Mariners have one of the best pitching staffs, and they got a really good offense, and they're clicking right now. You're going to see Julio Rodriguez become a star of this.
If the Dodgers had a bullpen,
the Brewers feel like a one and done.
Yeah.
I don't
Brewers
know.
And the Cubs,
even though they have almost 100 wins, they are screaming overrated.
But
big time.
I'm just saying the thing is, man, Dodgers starting pitching has been so fucking dominant lately, but the bullpen just blows all their fucking games lately. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But I think they got a solution yesterday. You got Roki Sasaki coming in, you got Kershaw coming in, and Trinan looked good last night. And don't pitch Tanner Scott to close. Pitch him in the seventh and the 8th inning, he's good. The 9th inning, he doesn't have his. He can't do it anymore in the 9th.
He's your closer.
No.
I'm just glad that they actually got rid of him.
He's your closer, Mark. Come on. Just give him a pat in the back and tell him, go get him.
This is a Kenley Jansen situation. Don't let him close.
Terrible with us.
He was good with the Padres last year, but he's great. He pitched today.
Well, because he's still in the Padres payroll. That's why.
Well, yeah. So is Conforto on the Giants. But let's get to
Hey,
something.
Andy, be careful. Your cat's probably gonna knock over your albums, right?
This is
it's
something that Mark
Thank you,
brought
though.
up because Mark likes to stir the pot. But it's a cool anniversary for fans of Van Halen. 40th anniversary of Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen jamming at Farm Aid this week. Mark, you take that. That was your story, buddy.
I remember that. You know what's funny? No, I know for all you young folks before the internet.
Who's young on here?
You didn't get the news like right away. It was like during the summer there was rumbling. It's like, oh, Sammy's gonna be joining the Van Halen. Just so you know, Sammy's joining Van Halen, and we would hear it like every couple weeks, but we didn't actually get an official announcement. Like we were just like waiting and waiting, and that was like all the way through the summer. And some of my friends were saying, no, no, Dave's coming back. You'll see. You'll see, he's coming back. So we were going back and forth, like Dave's coming back. Don't worry about it, you know. And finally, it was Farm Aid. Sammy's playing his tune, like I Can't Drive 55. And then when Eddie comes out, we're like, okay, yeah, that's it.
The only one way to rock.
It is. No, they played a rock and roll.
I thought,
Rock and
oh
roll.
yeah.
Because they did. That's what Sammy said. We don't know any tunes yet, so we're just gonna
Yeah.
jam. And they played a kind of very version of rock and roll.
It was a very bad version of rock
it
and
was
roll.
It was cool watching Eddie tap away the whole entire song.
They would,
And do
I
like
will,
a
I will
little-
admit, they would do it better
do it-
later when
Yeah.
they were actually a cohesive band. The version,
Yeah. Well, it
Not
was fun. It
good.
was funny watching Eddie do some dive bombs and the whammy bar going on over a Led Zeppelin song. I'm like, oh, okay, Eddie, geez, man, you're like really, you were not butchering it, but he was kind of like. He was like really just jamming away like way too much stuff. But it was cool watching them jam together. But then that was it. That was official. That was gonna be the new Van Halen. But to this day, then my older brother said like, well, it's actually gonna be renamed Van Hagar because he heard a DJ say they should rebrand it, which made sense, and call it Van Hagar. But that was like totally like a rumor. He just came up with this idea, and then people in my state of Connecticut said like, yeah, it's gonna be Van Hagar.
And now
So
it's a diss.
so we started calling it that, but then a few months later, it's like, no, it's still Van Halen, and then that was the end of it. So that's my story.
You got two
What
brothers
do you
called
guys
Van
remember
Halen.
about Farm Aid and Eddie Van Halen and Sammy Hagar?
Farm Aid, the day the music died.
To you. And that's fine. I
But,
love Sammy.
Farm Aid, I will say that was the first one. They had some great acts on there. Willie Nelson.
I think Farm Aid was
Mellencamp.
supposed to be going this year, but they canceled it because of some strike. I guess there was strike with the concessions.
Well, Willie Nelson plays every year.
Yeah, but I think they can't. I
It's
think
kind of
they
his thing.
I think they canceled
Tillman,
him and
Neil
John
Young and Mellencamp.
and Mellencamp.
Those
Yeah.
three.
But they canceled
now-
it this year because of
Yeah.
concession strikes or something.
And Dave Matthews has been there for I think for the past 10 years with them.
Nice.
As well.
Farm Aid was in Indiana, right?
Oh, is it?
No, they move it around now.
They moved around.
I mean, the first one.
I don't know
What?
exactly if it was Indiana or Iowa. I know that it was in farmland,
Right.
but now during the past few years they've been moving it to different locations. But it was at that one location for a while in the beginning.
What about you, Mooger, on Sammy and Eddie getting together at Farm Aid? What'd you think about that? Were you a fan?
Never even heard of it. Never even knew it. That's how much I didn't listen to the news.
I'll send you the video on YouTube.
Yeah, that's very interesting, man. And
That's how they kind of announced Van Halen was getting together with Sammy on that show.
yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Like I said, I've never had a hatred for either one of the Van Halens, Van Hagar. In my opinion, I got two great Van Halens with a bunch of really great records and songs. I'm happy.
I agree with you, man, because I listened to Eddie Trunk, the Sammy Hagar interview today, and Sammy was pretty humble on that thing. He said when he was at that Black Sabbath, he fucked up on Flying High Again. He sounded like he fucked up on the lyrics. He said, "No, I don't need a teleprompter. I got this. I don't use teleprompters." And then he's running.
But he also said that Billy Corgan's version of Snowblind was great, and God no.
Well, if he likes it, we all have different opinions about music. So I don't know. I haven't heard that yet, but I love Billy Corgan,
Don't.
so I'm not.
Don't.
Did Sammy talk about jamming with Tommy Lee and the other dude?
No, he did. No, he was talking about that. He was talking about how like they were talking about balance. How like that was one of the hardest albums they made. They were all like fighting and Fairborn. He gives Bruce Fairborn a thing saying if he wasn't our producer, we wouldn't have made that album because he kept us separate. Eddie would argue about
And
something.
nobody would have cared.
I love that fucking album. That's one of my
I do.
favorite Van Halen albums.
That's a really good album.
I love Balance. Fucking Aftershock.
That album
And what I heard Sammy say today is that with
But then
Joe,
again, every album with Hagar sucked. So
Joe Satriani said the stuff that Eddie did with David was really easier to play. And when he went with Sammy, Eddie was evolving and he was doing more musical compositions with Sammy. And I kind of agree that there's more layers to the Sammy stuff, more progressiveness than it was. The other stuff was just pure rock and roll with David, which isn't bad. I fucking love it. It's great shit. But I like how Dreams and Aftershock, Seventh Seal, stuff like that were way different than what he was doing with David.
yeah, you know what else that is called? Polished.
Whatever.
Did you just call Van Hagar progressive?
Eddie was progressing in his musical compositions.
You know what though? But the thing also could have been at that time he had his own recording studio. 5150 was open, so he could have tinkered for as long as he wanted to. He could do whatever he wants. So that was a big difference in that time period because they were always at Warner Brothers. Because 5150, they didn't use it until after 1984. Is that correct, or did they use it?
That's correct.
They used it in 5150.
They were building it. He was building it during the Warning album.
Right.
It was a tennis court.
They were two different bands, and
They were.
For people who like it, for people that don't like it, they were two different bands, and that's
But
that's not necessarily.
Have I heard this history or story right or rumor or whatever? Wasn't it that David was getting kind of irritated with how Eddie was progressing and like say more keyboards, and maybe a different sound, and Dave didn't like that new sound. So I think Eddie would have probably evolved anyway as he did.
You listen to 84, it's already there.
Yeah, well, Fair Warning, he was kind of evolving there too.
Oh yeah, you listen to Saturday Afternoon in the Park. Yeah,
well,
there's some stuff.
One foot out the door.
One foot out the door. Yeah.
1 foot out the door. Yeah.
Well, that solidifies the story. Then is that you could hear progressions with Eddie in every single record. I'm talking with Dave, with Sammy, whatever. He's always going in a different directions, up, whatever, getting better. Like Mark pointed out, he's taking a more progressive music approach, but he's not progressive.
I didn't say he was progressive.
It just depends on what. It just depends on what
he's progressing as a player, and I think
progressing
it wasn't Sammy. It would have been some other poor.
I don't necessarily think he was progressing as a musician to do the music on 5150 or 8812, and I like some of those songs. I
thought that his music sounded very progressive. He was up there with Trevor Rabin in the 80s.
Oh, back to this again. Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be like this forever.
I don't have Jerry here. Jerry, you
fucker.
That's it. Mark, come here. That's it. Come here. We got you this time.
Jerry's not around.
I'm getting bullied, Jerry.
Got you this time.
Jerry's back on Trevor. That's how we became friends with Trevor Rabin.
Just real quickly before we move on, some fact checks for Farm Aid. The first Farm Aid was in Champaign, Illinois in 1985. And they actually, I never realized this, they never had it in the same place really more than 1 or 2 years in a row. It moved around every year. And actually, I found out, I just read, in 2012, Farm Aid was at Hershey Park Stadium, where I just saw Slayer this past weekend. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Maybe they'll have it there again.
Maybe they will. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, of course, the three headliners, or the three that always headlined it in 2012, was Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young. Dave Matthews was there. Kenny Chesney was there. That's about all the names that I know from that lineup. But I didn't realize that they were. Hershey, Pennsylvania, weird kind of place. I mean, there's a lot of farms around here, but you really don't think Farm Aid when you think Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Well,
No.
1985 was a great year for musicians giving back to like charities because you had Live
Live
Aid,
Aid.
you had Band Aid, you had We Are the World, and Farm Aid came out that same year too. So it was a good year.
That was kind of the point, was all the people that were a little bit different than Live Aid that wanted to give back to a similar in a similar way, but to a domestic charity. Decided to do Farm Aid.
And they needed it too because I can remember a lot of farmers.
Oh yeah, mid '80s was not a great time for the agriculture.
Yeah, it was
industry.
rough.
I mean,
it came out at the perfect time for
well,
them.
John Mellencamp talked about that in the Scarecrow album, Rain on the Scarecrow.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right.
I mean, and also think about mid '80s. Listen to some of the names that were on the first Farm Aid. That was just like a complete collection. Alabama, the Beach Boys were at the first Farm Aid. Jimmy Buffett, Glenn Campbell, Johnny Cash, the Charlie Daniels Band, John Denver, Bob Dylan, John Fogerty, Foreigner was there. Don't know why.
Fuck yeah.
Vince Gill, Sammy Hagar, of course, Merle Haggard. This is still
Trevor
the age
Rabin
when a lot
was there
of those,
too, right?
Shut up. This is the age when a lot of those the previous generation of stars were still coming out for country music. Merle Haggard, Don Henley was there, Waylon Jennings, Billy Joel, George Jones, the previous generation.
I would have went to that show.
Huey
I'm
Lewis.
pretty sure Willie Nelson was there too.
Oh, of course, yeah, the first year, yeah. Roy Orbison, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You can see a lot of where certain things are coming together that year.
Yeah,
Tom Petty. So
Bob
Petty did
Bob
Live Aid
Dylan
and
was
Farm
there.
Aid.
Bob Dylan was there. Tom Petty was there. Roy Orbison was there. Where
Traveling
might this go in a
Wilburys
couple
got
of
You're only
years?
missing one guy, Jeff.
Then they went traveling together.
Two. You're missing Jeff Lynne and George Harrison.
Yeah,
There you go.
they weren't
There you
there.
They were not there. But
All
of
right,
course,
man.
just a great lineup.
Speaking of an anniversary, guess what happened 8 years today?
8 years ago would be 2017. What happened in 2017?
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers
Oh,
final
yeah.
show at the
his
Hollywood
last
Bowl.
show, Hollywood Bowl.
I just want to say thank you, Tom Petty, for all you did for music. You never made a bad album. You fucking rule. And I was devastated because less than 2 weeks later, on October 2nd, he died. Less than 2 weeks later after that final show.
What a couple years we had that 2015, 2016, 2017. Because you had, I mean, Chris Cornell, Tom Petty, Chester Bennington, Scott Weiland, all these, Lemmy passing away.
Prince was around then too.
Prince
wasn't he?
was 2016.
Yeah.
Neil Peart wouldn't be too much longer after
2020.
that. Yeah, and Eddie. That was a rough couple of years there for artists.
Yeah, man. You guys got any favorite memories of Tom Petty, Drew?
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead, Mooger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go, Mooger.
You called Drew, and I just cut right in.
Just go for it, Mooger.
All right. No, great memory. We saw him like 2 times on the Wild for Flowers tour.
Oh, I missed that.
And we saw him in South Bend, Indiana, and Jayhawks were opening. I mean, it was just a great show. And he was on fire in South Bend. And then he played Fort Wayne later, and he was still on fucking fire. I mean, both times I saw him, I'm so happy I got to see him. And yeah, those 2 shows I'll never forget for sure, man.
What about you, Andy?
No, not really.
No memories of Tom Petty?
Nah.
How he hit you? No. I thought you loved Tom Petty.
Mark, what decade? Mark, what decade are we talking about tonight?
90s. Whatever. But it's Tim. Any memories of Tom Petty?
No, I mean he was good, but he'd never, blew me away.
All right, so I guess we'll move on.
You can ask me.
Okay, go ahead.
That's fine then. I unfortunately never did get a chance to see him play live. It's one of the great regrets of my life that I never got to see Tom Petty play live. Would have loved to. Grew up on his music. My dad had Full Moon Fever and the Greatest Hits on CD, and we listened to them quite a bit. I always loved a lot of his music. It wasn't until more recently that I dove into some of the later stuff, thanks to Mark. And I've loved almost everything I've heard from him, and just a really great artist that unfortunately passed before his time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was only 67.
Yeah.
From Gainesville, Florida, and he was struggling in Florida because Florida, I'm learning, is not the big music scene. And if he didn't make his move to California, who knows what would happen?
Florida is a very weird place when it comes to music. It's a very specific type of thing. Florida has a really big metal scene. Florida has a really big southern rock scene. I mean, of course, Leonard Skinner came from Florida. Um, Aside from that, I mean, the big bands play Florida, of course, but you're not really going to find a lot of specialized music scenes in Florida the way you are, surprisingly, for as big of a state as Florida is, and for as many big cities are in Florida. Florida is weird when it comes to music.
Florida's just weird, period.
Well, yes, but I was gonna leave that part out. But
Yeah,
I'm still
weird.
kind of new here, so I don't have too many weird stories just yet, but I'll fill you in.
All right, so I'm just gonna say that I thought this is funny. Some NorCal neighbors are on alert after a series of frightening attacks on people, all done by a vicious squirrel. Injuries needed quick medical attention. Watch out for them squirrels, man.
squirrels will get you. There was the high school that I teach at. They still to this day, one of our school mascots is Sparky the squirrel, because a squirrel ran into the power generator outside the school, fried the whole thing,
Oh,
and blew the
shit.
power for the entire school. They had to send all the kids home early one day because
Hey.
a squirrel ran into the generator.
Christmas
Fried
vacation.
squirrel.
Yep.
All right, man. And then I thought this was funny. Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-agent said his name was too ethnic and he should change it to Lenny Williams. They're never going to hire you. And I'm going, have you heard of De Niro?
And the Academy Award goes to
Lenny
Lenny
Williams.
Williams.
Lenny Williams.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio. I think
Fired that guy.
I think he made it just fine.
Yeah, he did all right for himself.
Well, how
He
many
could have been big. He could have been big.
He could have been a contender.
Could have been huge.
Big contender. He could have been.
One of my favorite actors was Lawrence Fishburne. He was first cast as Larry
Larry Fishburne.
And I remember looking at the movie because like, Larry?
Larry.
Who the hell's Larry Fishburne?
Yeah, but then I'm like, oh, but Lawrence does sound better, actually.
Yeah.
Where's Mo and Curly?
When he started to take on more serious roles, I think when he was in the third Nightmare on Elm Street movie, he was Larry Fishburne.
Right. Yeah.
But when he was in The Matrix, he was Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence.
All right, one last story. Nobody gives a shit about this. Baywatch is back. Giving a straight to series order for reboot for 26, 27 broadcast season. Hey, I hope the Hoff is there at least.
I will say this about
nobody-
Baywatch.
So
I
They
like
aren't going
that.
to cast anybody as hot as Pam Anderson was.
I always like that theme song.
They had Donna D'Erico. She was
Didn't
pretty good.
the Survivor singer sing that?
Yes, Jamie Jameson. Yeah,
That was a good. That was a good song, actually.
good song,
That's nothing
yeah.
I'll say about it.
All right, man. Are you going to do the countdown, Andy?
Yeah, sure, I can.
Go for it, man. You're going to do the Jerry part. You're the guest co-host. There you go.
All right, great. I am going to be reading my list, and I'm also going to be doing Al Horta's list, who is my partner on Black Spinner Circle. So, but I'm going to keep them separate. I don't want them to run into each other. So, so without further ado, let's get started. We're going to be ranking our top 11 artists or bands of the 1990s. No repeats from the previous or for future decades that we do. We'll just go around the horn. Joe, what are you going to start off with?
Well, just remember, I'm doing Jerry's and Mooger's doing Fabio.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So this was a fun list to make. There was a lot of where with the 70s and 80s, there was a lot of bands where I had to decide, okay, which decade were they better in? A lot of new bands are coming out in the 90s. You got a lot of bands that hadn't put out albums before. So you got a lot of fresh blood in this list. And so a lot of these bands, I think there's only really one or two bands in my list that had even put out an album in the 80s. So a lot of this is brand new artists that are really starting to come to the forefront. And one of those artists that basically created an entire new genre of music in 1994 with their self-titled debut album. My number 11 is Korn. I absolutely love Korn. It was hard for me. The only reason they're not higher is because I think they have some great albums in the future decades. I think that they only had 4 albums in the 90s. I think they're great albums, but they aren't all of my favorite Korn albums. but they are some really great albums. Their debut album and Issues, especially, two of my absolute favorite Korn albums, and they absolutely changed music in the '90s. Whether you think that's a good or a bad thing with what came after it, I don't think that any of the bands that came after them are necessarily as good as they are. But I think that they definitely had a great impact on music in the '90s, and no matter what you think of the bands that came after them, I think that their music is very good, especially the stuff that they did in that decade, the debut album and Issues especially. So that's my number 11 is Korn.
And really, Korn's music has outlived their peers.
Oh yes,
big time.
Oh yeah,
without a question.
They got a great drummer now.
Yeah, Ray Luzier is great. But they're really the only one of those bands that's still selling that many tickets, that will still sell out stadiums or sell out big arenas. And other Limp Bizkit will do it sporadically, and they'll do it like once every 5 years. Korn does it consistently still. They'll go out every tour. They'll still sell a massive amount of tickets, and their new albums are still selling very well as well.
Yeah, but I can't compare Limp Bizkit and Korn at all. I just know it's because of a timeline. But music-wise and just everything, the whole
I would
package.
take Korn over Limp Bizkit, even though I hate both bands.
All right, Tim, what are you going to start off with, man?
I'm starting off. This band only released one album in the 1990s, and that was 1990. But that one album was fucking amazing. I'm going with Mother Love Bone.
Nice.
Fantastic album.
There you go.
Great album. Apple rules.
R.I.P. Andrew Wood.
And that's why they only released one album in 1990.
Yeah.
Heroin's a bitch, man.
Yeah.
All right, Mooger, what do you got going on? Are you going to do yours and Fabio's pick at the same time?
That's a good question. Do you want to just have me do mine and then I'll mention his?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's however you want to do it.
All right, buddy. So hey guys, seeing as I don't often guest on the BS sessions, I didn't quite know the rules around this. So basically I picked bands that only bands that released a debut album or major label album in the 90s. Now so I didn't get any that started in the 70s and thrived in the 90s. That's a great concept. I didn't know the rules, so I just stuck to people releasing albums in the 90s, and I'm with Joe on this, that to me the 90s was maybe somebody else's 70s and 60s. The 90s, to me, there was so much music to explore, and not crap, really great bands and different genres and different eclectic moods. And holy shit, I did most of my musical exploration while I was in high school and college and even after. But the 90s, I think, for me personally, rocked musically in all different genres. So my 11 is a band we have reviewed on the Freeform Rock podcast before, and not everyone loves this, I know, but they are at my number 11. Could change tomorrow. Counting Crows. They released August and everything after in 93. And dude, I don't know. I was in college when I heard this, and it spoke to me. The entire record spoke to me. I have it on vinyl, just played it over the weekend. Songs are still stuck in my head. I do love this band, not for everybody. But to me, they define part of the 90s for me.
Yeah. But also the second album, Recovering the Satellites, was a strong album. And so was Hard Candy. I mean, they were strong throughout the 90s. Unfortunately, the media, just gravitated towards certain things, and then everybody else jumped the bandwagon. But they really did some solid stuff there in the 90s.
Yeah, I think they were a solid band for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like I said, it's a very fun. I thought of what bands did I discover in the 90s that just warm my soul somehow, and they definitely do. Now I'm going to give you Fabio Vegas's number 11. I can't expand on his choice, but I'm all on board with it. His number 11 is Warrant.
What was it?
Just for Dog Eat Dog?
Warrant.
Yes.
Cherry Pie came out in the 90s.
Oh, it did?
okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
My hearing's
Cherry
not-
Pie was 1990.
Oh, okay. I could have picked Warrant then. That's cool.
Yeah,
Great
Warren
Warrant was
two
93.
very good albums.
I
Doggy
think Cherry
Dog was
Pie came out like
93.
91 actually, right?
Doggy Dog was 92.
Yeah.
92.
Doggy Dog is very cool.
Yeah,
Fuck
they put
yeah.
out two fantastic albums in the 90s.
Shit.
Yeah.
I should have picked another band too. Oh, fuck.
All right, Mark Daly, what do you got, man?
Oh yeah, this is a May Hoopla pick because I screwed up. I'm such a big fan of this band, but I didn't pick them for the last episode. They did release 4 albums. Obviously, their 80s work was better, but they're coming out at 11, so I could pick them, and that is Queensryche. I got Empire, I got Promised Land, I got Here the Now Frontier, and Q2K. And
Okay,
everybody
the first
complains
three.
about Jeff Tate not wanting to be metal. It's actually Chris DeGarmo. He wrote tons of songs. He pushed the band into a different direction. And in a way, Jeff Tate was smart. He kind of eased up on the crazy screaming vocals that really he would have worn his voice out big time, actually, I thought. And I thought Empire is a fantastic album. It's very commercial.
Yeah.
You know,
Promised Land is very good as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I love Promised Land.
Promised Land, I thought that was their most truest album. I thought that was the real Queensryche right there.
I think that's an underrated album. Hopefully, I will be seeing Jeff Tate perform the entirety of Operation Mindcrime this Sunday.
So
Nice.
that's I know it's unfortunate that they're not together anymore, but you get Queensryche and you get
And I'll be seeing them in a couple months with Accept.
yeah. So and Silent Lucidity is not that bad, guys.
It is
Yeah,
a great
Eric-
I know
Eric-
Rock and Roll Combat Podcast bashed the heck out of
I
that song.
know,
No,
but
they
Eric Arnest Jordan bashes that.
Ralph loves Silent Lucidity.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it gets bashed a lot,
And Ralph
Only,
loves the
only when
Forest.
Eric's
All right, well, it just seems like it's like one of those songs that everybody likes.
It's
to
Eric
beat up.
Arnest Jordan.
It's just
He hates that
Eric.
fucking song.
I know
It's
a
Eric.
ton of people that love that song.
I love that song.
It is actually a great beginner guitar solo song. It's not really
yeah.
flashy. So
That
if you
great
want to learn how to
solo.
play guitar, play a solo, learn how to play Silent Lucidity. So that's my number 11.
All right, Mark, you and Jerry.
All right, I'm going to pick a band that I could have picked in the 80s, but their 90s stuff was just as good as the 80s. It was different. They kind of changed directions. I fucking love In Excess. They released 4 albums in the 90s. You got Welcome to Wherever You Are. You got X. You got Full Moon Dirty Hearts, and fucking a great fucking album in 1997. The last album with Michael, Elegantly Wasted. Fucking great decade for them. Even if they didn't sell, I think X was the last big seller for them. But fuck, these albums are fucking amazing. They went in a different direction, and I fucking love In Excess in the 90s just as much as the 80s. I think they got better in the 90s. In fact, they expanded on their sound, and I fucking love that. So In Excess is my number 11 with those 4 albums in the 1990s. And I saved them. I could have put them in the 80s, but I got bands I can move because they did make great shit in other decades. And then Jerry picked Garbage for his number 11, which is a good band. I really do like Garbage. I don't listen to them that much, but he must. He likes women a lot more than I do for some reason.
Okay.
You heard it here
There's
first.
nothing wrong about liking
Jerry
women.
likes
No,
women
I love a
more
lot
than
of women artists, but if you see Jerry in the chat group,
Jerry loves women more than I do.
no,
Okay.
I'm just no. But what I'm trying to tell you is that
you phrased that
Jerry
perfectly, Mark.
Jerry goes for a lot of these petite women. I love Pat
Okay,
Benatar.
wherever
so
this is
then-
going,
I'm
it
just
needs-
saying-
it needs to.
So that means
I always give Jerry shit. I said, "You like them because they're hot," and he goes, "Yeah." So that's what I tell him.
so
Yeah,
that means we're probably
and-
going to be seeing the Cranberries on this list too, then.
I hope
Yeah,
not.
maybe.
No.
All right, so I'm going to be doing Al Horta's pick and my pick. Al Horta, his number 11 is Fate's Warning. His number 11. No, I can't go too much into it because I don't know much about Fate's Warning.
Would you like me to explain Fate's Warning?
Very
for
progressive
Al's
band.
pick.
Yes,
Fate's
please, yeah.
Warning.
Go for it.
Fate's Warning was a progressive metal band. They started in the 80s, had some really great albums. They were on my honorable mentions for the 80s. And I talked about last week, they also could have been on my 90s list. They had some really, really great stuff in the 90s. They tapered off a little bit in the mid 90s, but they came back with some excellent albums in the late 90s, Pleasant Shade of Grey and Disconnected. There's some really great stuff to close out the decade. Really they were a big force of progressive metal in the 90s, especially. And I think that they definitely helped carry the genre in the late 90s.
I tried to listen to them. And they remind me so much of Queensryche. I couldn't get into them.
I own one of their albums, Parallels, 1991.
Parallels, yep. Parallels started out
Maybe
the
I
decade
needed to check them out again, because when I tried to get into them, I said, I just listened to Queensryche. It's the same thing.
They have some different things. Like their early stuff is very kind of like it's progressive power metal in a way. Their first couple albums,
the power metal.
Then they got a little bit more like poppy progressive metal with like stuff like Parallels, Perfect Symmetry, those albums. And then towards the late 90s, they got a little bit more experimental, and that's stuff I really love is Pleasant Shade of Grey and Disconnected. They have some really phenomenal stuff there in the late 90s. Joey Vera from Armored Saint played bass for them in the late 90s. So he was kind of a big part of that kind of move towards that more kind of experimental side that I really like.
Interesting. I don't know that.
And Kevin Moore, after he left Dream Theater, the original keyboardist from Dream Theater, he joined them.
He was on the first album.
He was on Images and Words.
Yeah.
And also Awake.
And Awake, yeah.
He's actually a psychiatrist now.
Mm-hmm.
That band might come up on my list. You know?
Yes, they might.
They might.
You never know.
And my number 11, I'm going to start off my number 11. Most of my picks are bands that formed in the 90s and hit it big in the 90s. Most of them. My number 11, I'm going to start off with Built to Spill. A fantastic band out of Oregon. They are led by Dave Marsh. Dave Marsh is the lead vocalist, songwriter, and a guitar player. Lead guitar. He's always having different band members around him, because different projects for the band calls for different for different musicians. A couple of albums that came out in the 90s. There's Nothing Wrong, which came out in 94. The Normal Years was in 96. Perfect From Now On was in 97. Their big breakthrough was Keep It Like a Secret, which was in 98. So they did about 6 or 5 albums in the 90s. They did a lot of festivals back then. They still do a lot of festivals now. So that's my start of the 90s, Built to Spill. All right, Joe, what's your number 10?
All right, my next pick is a band that released 4 albums through the mid 90s. I can't remember if their 4th album was in the 90s or came out in the
That's going to be a recurring
2000s.
theme, actually. 4 albums. You notice in the 80s,
there's
a lot of 4.
Well, yeah, this is when there's starting to be a lot more time between albums. You don't see bands putting multiple albums out in the same year anymore.
I got one that's 5 though. I got one.
But the thing is where the albums were better in the 90s than they were in the 80s. The 80s might have more albums, but the art of an album lost its way for me in the 80s. In the 90s, it came back together.
So you have 3 different decades. In the 70s, there was a ton of albums, and they were all usually pretty great.
Yeah.
In the 80s, they were still a lot of albums, but they were starting to get a little bit more spotty. In the 90s, they slowed it down a little bit, but the albums started being a lot more consistent, I think.
Yeah.
But so my number 10 started out in the 90s, released 4 albums before they broke up. I mentioned the singer earlier, the late, great Scott Weiland, and that is Stone Temple Pilots. 2 phenomenal albums with Core and Purple, a pretty good album with Tiny Music, Songs from Vatican Gift Shop, and then an okay album with number 4.
I love 4.
But I think especially those first 2 albums is what put them on my list. Those are albums that I can just kind of sit back and listen to and just kind of vibe with, because I think that even though they get kind of lumped in with a lot of the other bands that we're going to talk about, let's just put this out here. We've said it 1,000 times on this show before. Grunge is not a real genre. It is not. There is no such thing as a grunge band.
Rock and roll, man. It's rock and roll.
None of these bands sound the same.
No.
And anything that you want to associate with grunge, it's the music of Nirvana and the image of Pearl Jam. That's
the
what people think of grunge.
That's a record company marketing tool.
It is. That's what people think grunge is. It's the visual image of Pearl Jam and the music of Nirvana. That is grunge. But none of these bands sound remotely same. I picked quite a few. But Stone Temple Pilots is one that kind of gets lumped in there a lot. But I don't think, like most of these bands, they sound remotely like grunge.
From San Diego,
I think they have a fantastic, unique sound with the music that they were putting out, especially those first two albums. I mean, Core especially is just such an amazing debut album. Stuff like Dead and Bloated and Plush and Sex Type Thing.
Album. It really is.
Wet My Bed.
Yeah. And just so much great stuff. And then you get Purple, and you get a little bit more. There's a little bit more upbeat stuff going on Purple.
A little bit brighter.
It is a little bit brighter with
Tiny Music
Interstate Love Song. And Tiny Music is a very underrated album. I don't think it's nearly as good as the first two. I think it's still a great album. It's just another great album. Unfortunately, they broke up not long after Volume 4 came out, and they put out another album.
Shangri-La.
Did they?
Shangri-La is a great album too. I love Shangri-La.
Okay, that was in 2000. Okay, so that doesn't count. That doesn't count for this.
I know, but
it does not exist.
No, I like that album.
Yeah, I think that they are I think they're kind of an underrated band when it comes to that kind of area of music in the 90s. You hear about the Big Four, and then a lot of people put STP as like the number 5, but like a very distant number 5.
They're from New Jersey and San Diego.
Let me put it to you this way. 2 of the bands in the Big Four are not on my list, and STP is. So that tells you where they rank.
I don't have any of the bands in the Big Four on my list because other people are going to put those on
blasphemy.
Yep, that's it.
It is. I got one. I chose just to have one.
I got none.
All right. My number 10 is a great band. I just got out of the hospital today, so I really didn't have time to prepare for this list.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I had some bone spurs removed from my spine.
Oh, God.
Oh, nothing major.
Just making sure you're okay, brother. I love you. Hey, Tim, I love you.
Huh? I just wrote it down, but anyways, this band would have been much higher if I had a chance to actually rank them, but my number 10 is Joe's T-shirt.
Great pick. I didn't pick them because my line is, I knew you guys would support them. I want to pick bands that I don't think anybody you guys will support in the 90s. I got a couple.
All right, Mooger, what is your next one?
All right. Remember, I'm picking bands that came into being in the 90s, releasing the first major labels. So my number 10 is a band that I absolutely love to this day, and their debut and their sophomore, they're perfect to me. Matchbox 20. Yourself or Someone Like You was huge. Just like
I love Rob Thomas.
Yeah, I still go to this album. I still go to the first and second. I still go to Matchbox 20 for playlists, man.
Me too.
Can't beat that. I mean, I love him.
I love his 2 solo albums.
Yeah, it's out 2 or 3 of them out. Yeah,
2 or 3. Yeah, great shit. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good band. I do like some Matchbox 20. What about Fabio? Who's he got at number 10?
Fabio Vegas picked Motorhead.
What?
Yeah, they had a few strong records there in the 90s.
Great stuff.
Never go wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. I'll tell you that.
What albums did they have in the 90s?
Oh, a ton.
A ton.
1916, March or Die, Bastards, Sacrifice, Overnight Sensation, Snakebite Love. I think that's it. I think We Are Motorhead was 2000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lemmy also wrote some songs for Ozzy. No More. That's what he made his money finally.
Oh yeah, but I mean, some of my absolute favorite Motorhead albums: 1916, Bastards, Sacrifice, Overnight Sensation has Don't Believe a Word is one of my favorite Motorhead songs.
Okay.
That is like Motorhead's underrated decade, in my opinion.
wow.
The 80s is their big decade. The 90s, if I hadn't have put them on my 80s list, they would have been on my 90s list.
Oh wow, they worked that much in the 90s. I didn't know that. That's something I need to look into.
They honestly, I like. I don't know if I would say I like their 80s stuff more, but I think their 80s stuff, the highs are higher. But I listen to their 90s albums more than I listen to their anything else.
Oh, okay. The consistency was more there in the 90s.
The only album that's a little bit they have two of the albums from the 90s are a little bit iffy. They probably rank towards the bottom of my Motorhead list, which is March or Die and Snake Bite Love. But the rest from the 90s, the other 4 albums that they put out in the 90s are easily in my top 10 Motorhead albums.
No.
Yeah.
I got 1916 on CD. I should hear that a little bit more.
That's a great album. That is phenomenal. 1916.
I did a review.
No Voices in the Sky, the title track, Going to Brazil.
Track is phenomenal.
We did a review with Eddie Canistracci. That is a great album, by the way. Yeah, great. 1916 is great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mark Daly, what do you got as number 10?
I'm gonna go for a lady too for my number 10, and very interesting decade she had. When she started, she was kind of trying to be like Paula Abdul, but then when I finally got introduced to her, she was a brand new artist, even though she wasn't a brand new artist. But that's what the radio station said, brand new artist, and this is the song.
I know
it's
where
called
you're
You
going.
Ought to Know, and that's Alanis Morissette. It was like a breath of fresh air because by the mid 90s I was kind of like burnt out on a lot of 90s bands, and the way to describe her is kind of like this. She has a soft voice but it's very powerful though, and she's just a joy to listen to. And even though the follow-up after Jagged Little Pill is basically just a lot of ballads and stuff like that, I enjoy the album too. So that's my number 10 pick, Alanis Morissette.
All right. Alanis Morissette. All right, Mark, you and Jerry's choices.
All right. 1990. You know, I could have picked this band in the 80s. They had a lot of my favorite albums in the 90s, though. God damn, Great White. You got Hooked. You got Psycho City. You got Sail Away. You got Let It Rock. Can't Get There From Here. And he also had them doing the great Led Zeppelin tribute in 1999. God damn, Jack Russell's a god. He's a fucking god singer. My God, that voice. He was amazing till he fucking died. The guy could still sing. He couldn't move. But fucking Jack Russell. I didn't pick him in the 80s because the 90s, fucking Psycho City. God, I love that fucking album. I love Hooked. God, everything they did in the 90s was just amazing. So Great White.
I love Can't Get There From Here. I think that's a great album.
Produced by Jack White.
I would personally put their 80s stuff above their 90s stuff, but their 90s stuff, they have some phenomenal stuff coming out in the 90s too.
Was Sail Away released in the 90s?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was 94, I think.
Yes.
Okay, I love that CD.
Psycho City. Oh my God.
And that's one of my other that's it's insanely good. Like every single song.
Hooked.
Yeah.
God damn.
They still play quite a couple.
And they
songs
did
from
the
those
Led
albums.
Zeppelin tribute album, dude, with Baby I'm Gonna Leave You in that decade. God damn. That is the only guy who could sing Robert Plant ever.
No,
Jack Russell.
We're gonna talk about somebody later on in this list, I'm sure, that can sing Robert Plant.
No, maybe. But then we get to Jerry. The Counting Crows, number 10.
Al's number 10. I was just looking at his list. Al and I only picked the same band one time.
Wow.
Yeah. His number 10 is going to be 9 Inch Nails.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Two phenomenal albums.
Great fucking pick.
That 9 Inch Nails pretty much was popular throughout the whole decade with great albums and monster tours, and the packaging for their CDs were, I mean, they give you a lot of information. They really did really good job on that. And my number 10, I'm going to go with a band that I really do love, but they only released 3 albums. And I saw them for their second album. I saw them for Evil Empire back in 94. I'm talking about Rage Against the Machine. their debut album, Evil Empire, and Battle of Los Angeles, which they're only 3 albums. And then they've got a live one that I've got that was live from Olympia.
I almost
And
picked Rage. Rage is really
and
good.
this guy, and then they also had the covers album, which was really good because they do some really good covers of their contemporaries. Like they do a really good cover of "How I Could Just Kill a Man" by Cypress Hill. They do that fantastic. So Rage Against the Machine was a big band for me in the 90s. You know, I met a really cool people during that time. A lot of these bands that I mentioned have people attached to these bands of who I met and how we got together and the music that we love. So Rage Against the Machine was a big one for us. That was one of my first concerts that we traveled out to. We drove all the way from Corpus Christi to San Antonio, which was 2 hours, and it was on a work night. So we had to go there and come back. And I had a Chevy Cavalier. We packed 6 people in there, and we took off. The good old days, right, man? The good old days.
I remember when I was standing in line to get tickets for Pink Floyd, the Division Bell at fucking Holly, the what is it called? Fucking the Rose Bowl. And there was other people in line to get tickets for see Rage at the same time. We were talking to each other. And I go, "Oh, Rage is fucking cool, but I'm getting tickets for Pink Floyd." You know. I thought that Rage is a fucking. They didn't make a bad album. Fucking, they're a great.
Just
band.
those 3 were good. I wish that they would have came out with more, but who knows? It might have tainted what they did.
Because a lot of it took it over, man.
But at that moment, at that time, especially in the 90s, there was so much stuff going in so many different directions in the 90s, and music was our safe haven.
Music was all over the place in the 90s. I will say that.
Man, it was.
I turned 20. I turned 20 in 1990, so I get that. And I was in my 20s in the 90s, and that was an amazing decade for music. But I picked a lot of bands that didn't come from the 90s, but I picked a lot of bands that did come from the 90s. So I almost picked Rage. That's a good pick, Andy.
Yeah, because at this time I was between 14 and 24. A lot of stuff happens in between those ages for everybody.
October 9th.
This was my soundtrack.
October 9th. What is it? 1990. I turned 20. So.
All right, Joe, number 9.
My number 9, I would not be surprised if I am the only person who picks this band. But then again, you never know. I am by no means a big fan of extreme metal or death metal, but there is one band especially that I really connect with from that genre, and that is featuring the amazing late great Chuck Schuldiner, Death. They released 5 amazing albums in the 1990s. They released Spiritual Healing, Human, Individual Thought Patterns, Symbolic, and Sound of Perseverance in the 90s, all of which are fantastic technical progressive death metal albums. That's where they kind of get me because they are much more, they have a kind of a progressive edge to them. They aren't just straight ahead death metal, which I can listen to some Morbid Angel, I can listen to some of that kind of stuff. But if I want to listen to something more extreme, that's the band I'll usually go for is Death. And I think that they released 5 fantastic albums with a rotating lineup of amazing musicians. I mean, people that would be in tons of other bands, Steve DiGiorgio, Gene Hoglan, some of the members of Cynic were in that for Human. They had Andy LaRocque from King Diamond play guitar on one of the albums. Just a really fantastic rotating cast of musicians behind Chuck Schuldiner, and just put out some amazing albums. So that's my number 9 is Death.
You know, Tubi right now has a really good documentary on Death, and I'm in the middle of it.
Check that out.
I'm not that big on the band, but it's really interesting to hear where they came from and
Chuck is just such a fascinating character.
Kind of understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty cool.
Chuck,
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah, Chuck was super, super, super talented. And there's something on Hulu now called Into the Void. It's a series.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an entire one on Chuck. delves into not only death, but what he was working on at the time of his death was Control Denied was another. It was going definitely more progressive than death metal. I never could latch onto his vocal style very well, but I forgot all about his vocal, whether I like it or not. When that music kicks in, you listen to the lyrics, and yeah, man, whew, rest in peace. That genius. Good pick.
All right, Tim, what do you got for number 9?
All right, my number 9 is I'm going completely opposite of Joe in the death metal genre. This band is from Buffalo, New York, and they were solid, very solid in the 90s. I got to go with the Goo Goo Dolls.
Goo Goo Dolls. Wait, now you
Great
said
bands.
Buffalo.
You said Buffalo, I knew.
Me too.
But yeah, Superstar Car Wash and Boy Named Goo and, Dizzy Up the Girl and Gutter Flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were some really good pop rock albums.
I like those albums too.
And this wasn't pop rock. It was good, honest writing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was the key for Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
Their writing was fantastic. It was for every man. It was great. Yeah. So Goo Goo Dolls, nice one. All right, Mooger, what do you got? You and Fabio.
All right, so I'll go with my number 9 here. I fucking absolutely love this band and just saw them live not too long ago. Once again, picking of 90s bands, and I'm going with Candlebox, self-titled there for my number 9. I guess it doesn't matter if it's self-titled.
Self-titled?
It was released in 93. Yeah, the first one.
That's it?
So, yeah.
And Lucy was a good album too.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I could be absolutely wrong, and I'm sure I'll be severely shamed.
Oh, that band might be higher on my list, but they have more albums than that one.
I got you. And but basically their debut, whatever it's called, I could be very wrong. That is self-titled. And
yes, it is.
Lucy.
Lucy's their second album.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
But I'm just gonna say that's a great pick.
Yeah, they are. They're a good band. And what does Fabio have?
Oh, yep. And Fabio for his next pick. Let me pull his list up here real quick. His number 9, and this is completely off of any path any of us have been going down ever. And I love his number 9. He went with Tori Amos.
Ew.
Very interesting pick.
Sorry, I love you, Fabio. I'm sorry I said ew.
I love his pick. When I saw his list and I saw that, I was like, man, totally slipped my mind.
That is
I love Tori.
way out of my box.
Yeah. I would never say ooh. That's why I have Mark do it for me.
I didn't mean to say that. It just came out. Sorry.
It comes out quite a bit, Mark.
Well, it does, but I'm not putting you guys down for liking stuff I don't like.
I know.
It's fine.
And that's why it comes out quite a bit from us when you tell us your list.
Oingo boingo, yeah, I get it.
Ew.
All right. All right, Martin Daly, what do you got, man? What is your number 9?
Yeah, I almost made a huge mistake today, but then it came up in my playlist today. This is my favorite album of the 90s. So I'm thinking, I know it's only one album. They only lasted for one album. Basically, a band that just got together, did that one album. 2 of my favorite singers of the 90s, Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder. Talk about Temple of the Dog.
Only one
No,
song
it's only one,
Vedder.
but that album is all killer, no filler.
That's a great
Absolutely.
album.
Yeah, I got to put it in there. Temple of the Dog.
Jerry hates that, by the way. So
that is a great jam album.
Great fucking album.
He's missing out. That's all I gotta say.
Jerry, I always bitch at him, but we will review that album just to fuck with Jerry.
That middle section of that album, like track
Hunger
4
Strike.
9. Hoo-hoo.
Say hello to heaven.
Reach up, reach up.
Reach
Pick
out,
the crowd up.
Yeah.
God, I love that fucking song.
Love that album.
Love that album.
But just Hunger Strike, that drop D, that gung 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 gung.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that riff.
A great fucking album, top to bottom. Not a bad song on there for me.
Ooh,
But you almost wish they did some more, but that was
Exactly.
You just didn't know which way that band was going in each song.
Yeah.
It was going so many different directions.
You know, Chris was the fucking leader of that fucking band. He even directed that band. It was all Chris.
It was a dedication album for.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
was the one who came up with that for Andrew Wood. He said, "Let's do this for Andrew Wood," and he wrote all those fucking songs. So
Yeah, but the music is amazing, though.
yeah, well, he wrote that. Fucking
He
amazing.
didn't write the music; he wrote the lyrics, but
He
not
wrote
the
the lyrics.
music.
Oh yeah. Well, he got a lot of great musicians on that album.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was a perfect
Yeah.
marriage, and
Yeah.
pretty much perfect for that one album. You know.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. What is your number 9?
My number 9, Mark Dolly's gonna love this. You keep calling him Daly, but fucking Dream Theater. You got Images and Words, you got Awake, you got Change of Seasons, Falling into Infinity, and you got Metropolis Part 2 scenes from a Memory. You got fucking great fucking albums, and then they had Live at the Marquee and Once in a Lifetime in night. Goddamn, this band was fucking amazing in the 90s, and they still are. Dream Theater.
Season was actually just an EP, but it's just that one song because that song was actually supposed to be on Awake, but then the last minute of the record comes like, no, too long.
But shit, those 4 albums I just said.
No.
Well, but also they had the entire B-side with all the great live covers on it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
God, this band put out
that is
output
a fantastic version of Elton John's.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Not a lot of bands can do a full ripping version of Funeral for a Friend. And
no.
I wasn't too excited when I bought it. I was like, this is just like covers. I would buy everything by them anyway, but I was glad I did.
So I picked Dream Theater.
Mark out and Taylor. What is your next pick?
I just picked mine. I picked Dream Theater. It's Jerry.
What about Jerry's?
Oh, Jerry. Sorry.
Jerry is the Cranberries.
I love that. I called that.
If I never hear Linger again in my life, I'll rest in peace.
I heard that yesterday on the way home.
I hate that song so fucking much.
I like that song.
Don't watch
pattern.
Don't watch the movie Click by Adam Sandler. That song.
I'll try not to.
I've done a very long time for not watching it at all, so I'm pretty sure.
My streak has made it this far.
It's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, though.
Is it really?
I love Click.
It's good. It's really good.
Christopher Walken in there. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, he carries the movie. He's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't enticing at all. Number 9. Al Horner's number 9 is Corrosion of Conformity.
Good one.
Are they opening up for Judas Priest?
Yes, they are. I'm going to see them in October.
So it's COC, Cooper, Alice Cooper, and Judas Priest.
Dude, I'm seeing 2 concerts that week. I'm seeing Richie Kotzen with John 5 on the 17th. And then on a Sunday, I'm seeing Alice Cooper with Judas Priest and fucking Corrosion of Conformity. Oh, fuck, that's going to be a great weekend.
That's a great lineup.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Make sure you bring some earplugs. That's what I've been doing.
I want to go, but I'm not going to be able to go because I'm going to be on vacation that week, and I'm going to be traveling back that day that they're going to be here.
They aren't coming anywhere around here, and I'm so mad.
Oh, dude,
they're not coming to Florida.
Judas Priest never plays any of my local venues, like the ones that I go to regularly. They never play.
You almost like have to plan a vacation to go see them. I guess go on a trip, and then go see them. I guess.
All right, so it is my turn now. Have you noticed that I'm starting off with bands that didn't make that many albums? This band was very important to me and my friends when we were renting a house together. This band was played constantly to the point that I got a little tired of it. But it was important to us. Tool.
I love Tool.
As my number 9. They gave us the EP Opiate. And then after that, they gave us their full-length debut, Undertow, and then pretty much their best album, which is Enema. Really good progressive metal. At that time where, they were completely different when they came out at that time. And now just, their last albums in the 2000s and 2010s, it just lingered way too far for me. I was like, But
very strange music videos also.
They're on my honorable mentions. If Lateralis would have come out in the 90s, they would have been on my list.
Yeah,
They would have been on my list.
That was 2000.
That was 2001, I think.
What? Okay.
But if that album was 99, they'd be on my list.
Yeah, because that's a really good album, but I had to put it on my list because of their importance.
That was their last great album, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of.
Well, that
I'm not
was
a huge
good one.
Their last one is not good for me.
No, 10,000 Days.
10,000 Days is good, but not great.
Vicarious. Forget about
that's an amazing song.
Great song.
That's an amazing song. But I think there's some other stuff.
I got to agree with you. Lateralis was consistent.
Yes.
It had more consistency to it.
Yeah.
I love that. It didn't leave my CD player.
Yeah, but Anima is definitely my favorite as well.
It's a great album.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. And that was a CD that was constantly playing. But also we got to see them in '97 during Lollapalooza when Lollapalooza would go around and tour. That's pretty cool. So that's my pick. All right, Joe, you're number 8.
Number 8. This is a band that was formed in the early 90s. They recorded a demo and they signed with a small record label, and the small record label released the demo. They then signed with Atlantic Records, and one of the songs off that demo blew up to an insane amount. And Atlantic Records said, okay, well, we're going to release it now too. And the band said, we really don't want you to. We don't like this album. It's a demo. Why are you releasing it? And they said, okay, we're going to release it anyway. And that's the reason the band only plays one song off of it live. And then they would release their official debut album the following year, which I think is a fantastic album. They released 2 more albums in the 90s, both of which I think are phenomenal. I just saw this band about a month ago, but co-headlining with another great 90s band live. And that is the great Collective Soul. That first album, the band hates. They don't like it because it was basically a demo. And other than Shine, they don't play anything from that album. They consider the self-titled their official debut album, yes. And I agree because it is a phenomenal album. The Blue
Have
album.
You seen the documentary?
Mm-hmm. Yep. They were advertising it at the show.
I
think they were even selling it. They were selling it on Blu-ray at the show.
I bought it on Blu-ray.
Really I was gonna, but I just didn't make it. I didn't make it back to the merch line.
Just go on Amazon and buy it.
Oh, I know. But I mean, I would have liked to support the band, but I just didn't make it back to the merch line. But yeah, the albums that they released after that in the 90s, the self-titled album, Discipline Breakdown, and Dosage. Just some phenomenal albums. And they played a lot from those 3 albums when I saw them. And just some phenomenal stuff.
Discipline Breakdown is a upcoming podcast. If you want to be on that, just
you might have to let me know what date that is, because I might have to be on that.
I will let you know.
All right, Tim, what's your next one, man?
All right. My number 8 is, it's kind of funny how things go. The guy in this band that started this band was in another band who I fucking hated. I cannot stand the band he was in. But then he formed this band, and it's like they did a 360-degree circle. My last band was the Goo Goo Dolls, so I might as well pick the Foo Fighters as the next one.
Really?
I hated Nirvana. I could not stand
I
Nirvana.
agree with you on that one.
Really good pick on that one. You know, when they had first announced that the drummer of Nirvana was going to have a band, you're like, okay, big deal, you know? And then they're actually, in my opinion, better than where he came from.
Absolutely.
I can't disagree.
I will talk about them later on. Later on today or later on in the 2000s? I don't know. But we'll see. But they're definitely on a list of somewhere. Fantastic band. The only time I've seen them in concert, I've seen them twice. And I mentioned this before, but the 2 times I saw them, they were the opening band. I saw them opening for Chili Peppers during the Californication tour. Then I saw them open up for Weezer, which was a fun show. So, great band.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
my wife and I saw them on their first van tour. I mean, they were in a van pulling a trailer. They were in maybe
Yep.
a 500 person room, and everyone kept pelting Dave with Mentos during Big Me, and he was like, "Please stop throwing fucking Mentos. They
Right.
hurt." It was a good memory. That's the only time I think I've ever seen them in person live. Good band.
Oh, well,
Great
that's a
band.
neat, a cool little place to see them at. All right, Mooger, what's your next one?
My number 8. I'll get right to it. I was working my job in college on a warehouse, unloading trucks and shit. But I had a stereo back there, and the guy from the shoe department brings me down this cassette tape, and he's like, "Man, I hear you jamming some rock and roll back there. You're gonna love this band. They remind me of Sabbath, man." And that album was Siamese Dream by the Smashing
Nice.
Pumpkins. And holy shit, I fell in love with them on that record. And I've not liked everything that Billy has put together. He's put out such a collection of music, but you had Gish, you had Siamese Dream, you had Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, and then the next one I got into was Adore. I did actually enjoy that record quite a bit. After that, I got to be quite honest, I'm lost. I didn't chase
That
it.
last album is really good, though.
Yep, I need to listen to it. I think I've listened to it once or twice, but I need to dig into that more. But yeah, man, Smashing Pumpkins is my number 8.
Great pick. Nice.
Great pick, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
and Fabio.
yeah, Fabio's number 8, and I think this band released a very monster album in the 90s, and that would be REM.
They did.
Oh, Monster! I see. I see.
Uh-huh.
What you're
See where I'm
doing.
going there?
Yeah.
That is my favorite of their 90s albums.
REM, great fucking
Mhm.
pick. I almost picked REM.
I picked them for the 80s, or I might have picked them for the 90s.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good pick,
hey,
Fab.
Joseph, I was going to ask you, did I
I
pick them
didn't
for the
pick
80s?
REM.
I
I can't remember.
I don't remember either. That's why I didn't put them here, because I thought I picked them
I
in the
know
80s.
I did. I think I might have been the only one.
I think, yeah.
Okay, because I remember we were talking about it, so I wasn't too sure if I was talking about my pick or someone else's, so I didn't put them in this one,
I
unfortunately.
can't remember. I
think
know
you
I
were.
picked them.
You
I know
picked
I
REM
picked
ahead of Iron Maiden.
Yes, that was what it was. That was what it was. I picked them. I knew I picked them, but I can't remember if you picked them or not, Andy.
All right.
Either way, great in 2 different decades. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
I think their 80s stuff is better than their 90s stuff, but I think that they still had some phenomenal albums in the 90s.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and that's when they were more in the mainstream, of course, with all the videos, the winning the MTV Video Awards, and their albums started to become something that the masses were waiting for. Even though people were the same way in the 80s for them, but in the 90s it was a bigger crowd.
And then they put out Monster, and everybody said, "Huh?"
Yeah, it was completely different.
And that's why I love that album so much.
I love Monster.
And that, and the New Adventures in Hi-Fi.
Oh, I love that
great
album too. Yeah.
I like Automatic for the People because I like that.
I love
That's
that
a great album too.
Feel. That production was done so dark.
That has to be a review.
Oh
on
yeah, stuff like
Freeform.
Night Swimming and this great stuff on that.
We
album.
need to review Automatic one day.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, Mark Daly.
Spoiler: I did not pick REM because I don't like REM. So, just kidding. Well, actually, spoiler: look behind me. There you go. That's my pick, number 8, Tom Petty. Man, he kicked ass in the 90s, man.
You could pick any decade from Tom Petty. It ain't bad.
There isn't a bad decade. That's right.
There isn't a bad decade.
Yeah, you could pick up 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever.
2000s, 2010s, anything.
But I know Wildflowers is listed as a solo album, but it's pretty much the Heartbreakers were on it.
It was. Every solo album he did, except Stan Lynch wasn't on it, but Steve Ferroni on drums. Yeah. That's about the difference.
The only thing that bothered me about Tom Petty was the song You Don't Know How It Feels, and it wasn't his fault because that lyric was censored. Let's get to the point. Let's roll. And my radio station will always say, another No, I was like, a note? I'm like, a note? Why would he roll a note? And that was the 90's for you. You couldn't say joint on the radio. I'm like, come on.
I didn't know that there
Roll.
was a censored version of
Just,
that.
Oh
Too.
Let's
yeah.
roll
just
Oh,
another
curious,
yeah.
down.
were your radio stations like that
A
too?
lot of places still don't play the uncensored version.
Wow.
Wow, I've always heard it with joint, even on the radio down here.
Okay, well, I
On
heard no.
MTV video was roll another down. Yeah.
Mhm.
And what was MTV?
Roll another down.
That doesn't make any sense either, actually.
Well,
They
but they have a
everything
thing
on
where they
very-
rolled it down. See it?
Very,
Every other
Oh.
day I
very
ever heard
few
was
censored
they
versions of
rolled it
songs do make
backwards.
sense.
They just rolled joint backwards,
Yeah.
like on the video.
Okay.
It was like first time I saw it, what the fuck was that? And then it was like, and then we saw it next time because in the day when I wasn't rolling some tape, you had to wait for that video to come back on, And
Right.
the next day or something, I saw, I was like, holy shit, they've taken that one word, rolled it backwards, and put it back in the song. I was like, that's silly.
So
And that's such an important part of the song, I think.
I know.
Well,
The video is hilarious, though. I love how
Remember Snoop Dogg when he said smoking endo? They said smoking instead of endo. Sipping on gin and juice. They edited his on MTV too. So
Right now,
All right,
That's
Mark.
my- that's my number 8.
All right, Mark. What's your number 8, Alden Taylor?
why do you think they call it dope? Whoa. Love hate. I fucking love Dizzy Pearl, man. God, they released 4 albums in the 1990s. I mean, Blackout in the Red Room, Wasted in America, Let's Rumble, and I'm Not Happy. All fucking great fucking albums. Fucking Dizzy fucking rules. Love hate rules.
His name is Jizzy Pearl.
Jizzy, whatever. I don't want to say Jizzy. They might think I'm jizzing.
Dizzy Reed is the
Yeah, I know.
keyboardist
Guns N'
for
Roses.
Guns N'
I
Roses.
fucked
Yeah.
up. It's
And
called
a
Whiskey.
shitty one at that. But
It's Jizzy. So Jizzy Reed rules. Is so
Jizzy
long.
Reed?
No, Jizzy. I said Jizzy.
You said Jizzy Reed.
Jizzy Pearl. I mean Jizzy Pearl.
Never knew you was such a good singer, man. I
Yeah,
know you can play
great
some
fucking
keys.
singer.
but-
You could have fooled me.
It's Dizzy Up the Girl by Goo Goo Dolls. Okay.
Yes.
yeah,
The
All right,
Foo Goo Dolls.
let-
The
let-
Foo Goo Dolls.
Let me fix it. Jizzy Pearl.
There you go.
I
thought you were about to say Trevor Rabin.
I am going to remove myself as co-host of today's episode.
Oh, whatever. Do you want to know Jerry's number 8?
Yes, please.
Matchbox 20. You already talked about those guys. There you go.
Al,
I fuck up Jizzy and Jizzy. Dizzy and Jizzy sound the same.
I'm still waiting for Guns N' Roses and Nickelback. So
That
let's
ain't happening
happen.
on my list.
Nickelback didn't put out an album in the 90s, I don't think.
They didn't?
No.
They did.
Wait a minute. Not even one?
The very, 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 very first.
They're
one was
2000s, man.
Was it?
Right?
Okay.
Oh, I thought they were late 90's.
No, you're thinking Creed. Creed started in the 90s.
Creed?
Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Creed
All
started in the 90s.
No, Nickelback released Curb and The State.
I think Creed was
and I don't think
1999.
anyone's ever heard either of those albums.
the big one was Silver
No,
Side.
Mark,
That was
My Own
2001.
Prison. My Own
Okay, I
Prison
thought they were
was
late
97.
90s. My bad. I thought they were 90s.
All right, so Al's number 8, Typo Negative, which I like Typo
Great
Negative.
pick.
It's a really good
Great
band.
pick.
Pete Steele.
And my number 8, I am going to get into this band. I've seen them a couple of times live. When they came out with their second album, it was a great album. But I liked their third album and their fourth album. And I'm talking about Offspring. They came out with Ignition. They came out with Smash, which was a great album.
Great
Which was
fucking
a
albums,
breakthrough.
man.
And X-Nan and the Ombre, they turned a little bit more punkish. And my favorite album by them is Americana. Americana is almost a masterpiece.
I almost picked Offspring,
Because
so that's a
Offspring.
great fucking pick, dude.
So Offspring is my number 8. Number lucky 7, Joe.
All right, my number 7, a band that Andy and I were both on an episode of the Freeform Rock podcast where we reviewed one of their biggest albums, an album that just celebrated its 30th anniversary last year. A a band that I love a lot of their stuff from the mid 90s all the way into the mid 2000s, but most of it, the stuff that I love came out in the 90s. Albums like Dookie and Insomniac and Kerplunk and Nimrod. I'm talking about Green Day. Just a great band. Love their stuff. They were phenomenal live when I saw them last year. Just a really great band, in my opinion.
Sorry.
Great.
Yeah, that is a great band, and it got into later. Back then, when they came out, like I said that on the show, I didn't get into them. I thought they sucked, but I changed my mind. They're really good. I love Green Day.
Cool. They might come out later on. Are they going to come out now or in the 2000s? I don't
That's the
know.
question.
All right, Tim, what is your number 7?
All right, nobody jumped down my shit for this, but
Never.
That pick sucks.
This band's debut did come out in the 1990s, 99 to be exact,
Good enough.
and then they went on to fucking phenomenal success. But so I got to pick them. Slipknot.
I never got into them.
Not me.
I wouldn't pick them for the 90s, but they might be coming up on a discussion we might be doing a week from tonight.
A crazy
me.
live,
I don't think they'll be
show.
coming
That's all
on
I'll say
any of
about
my
Slipknot.
discussions.
Oh yeah, no,
Slipknot's a good pick.
one of the best live bands I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's like I'm not crazy about the music, but them live are like you're like kind of like you just gotta watch, Can't take your eyes away from it.
All right, Mooger.
Hey,
Your number 7.
my number 7
Yeah.
is a little higher on the list than Joe had them, but Stone Temple Pilots, man. Those first two, even third. I mean, there's not a whole lot in their catalog I don't like or I don't go back to, but definitely those first two. I mean, if that was in my DNA. I mean, that stuff was coming out when I was in my 20s.
Me too.
It just spoke to me. I ate it up. I love them, man. In my opinion, they're another staple for me in the 90s. When I think of the 90s, boom, Dead and Bloated, Plush, Sex Type Thing. All of those songs hit my head. And so, yeah, man.
Wet my bed, man. Come on.
Yeah.
So that's my number 7. Fabio's number 7, which might make an appearance later in a lot of our lists, honestly, maybe. The amazing, the wonderful Marilyn Manson. And I got to tell you, man, Lunchbox, and Portrait and Antichrist Superstar were some of my favorite albums of the 90s. Solid pick there, Mr. Vegas. I love it. I love
Very
it.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't make my list, but they have very solid discography in the 90s.
Yeah, they did. All right, Mike Daly, what's your number 7?
Well, the Counting Crows have been mentioned, but the Black Crows have not been mentioned. Great band. Every album they released in the 90s was awesome. They released 5. I love the Black Crows, and but this, what can I say, great discography, that's my number 7.
That's the other singer that can sing Robert Plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Black Crows might be coming up later on me and Jerry's list.
Yep.
They just barely. They were my number 12. I bumped them off today because I had another band that I wanted to add on, and I knew you guys would be picking them. I'm going to pull a mark.
Yeah.
I knew you guys would all be picking them, and the only reason that they almost made my list is because that Led Zeppelin, that Jimmy Page Black Crowes album was recorded in 1999, so it technically counts for the 90s.
No.
That was the only reason it got so high.
I didn't know, actually.
They are my number. They would be my number 12.
Me and Jerry might have them higher.
Yeah.
So.
They would have been in my number 12.
Oh, that's way low.
All right, Mark, what's your number 7?
Oh, number 7. We've already talked about this. They released 4 albums in the 1990s. Collective Soul at number 7.
What about Jerry?
Jerry, Alanis Morissette is number 7.
There you go. Yes.
He likes them women.
Well, what a weirdo. No,
What
but
a weirdo! Yeah, what a weirdo.
he likes
Women.
them women. He likes them
Women,
women.
huh?
Just for laughs, you should watch like her early '90s videos, though. Alanis
Hey,
Morris.
I love a lot of women artists a lot more than men artists. So I'm just saying that. So because I love Pat Benatar, I love Pretty Reckless, I love Hailstorm, I love a lot of this shit. I'm just giving Jerry shit, and he knows what I mean. So
I thought
Maybe,
that
maybe
Alanis
his
was,
whole list is women acts. Who knows? You know.
I thought that that would have been high on his list.
I thought it would have been too, man.
Yeah, me too. All right, we're talking about thinking that this would be higher on his list. Al Horta put Beastie Boys number 7. I really thought he was going to have him higher, but the 1990s brought us what was it? Check Your Head was that year. So was Hello Nasty, which was closed the 90s for them. And what was the other album right there in the middle?
God
them.
damn. Check Your Head. Paul's Boutique,
No, Paul's Boutique was 89.
89.
Was it ill
Wasn't
well,
it
not ill
Intergalactic?
communication?
Intergalactic though.
No, oh no, that was the song that was on Hello Nasty. This had Sabotage on it. What's the album though?
Oh, that was God damn it! I have it. Can't stand. That's ill communication.
Ill
I
Communication.
just said that literally. Like,
Oh, did you?
My bad. I didn't hear you.
Tim heard me,
did I-
damn it.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No, it's cool.
But those
I
are
was
really
just
good
like, I was
albums.
just
dang.
letting Mark
I-
like that struggle.
I put number 6 on my list twice. Fuck.
And
Since he
my
already said the
number-
Beastie Boys, I'm taking them off.
And my number 7 is going to be Pantera. Fantastic band in the 90s that really did hold metal. Well, not just hold metal, but led metal in the 90s. Albums like Cowboys from Hell, Vulgar Display of Power, Far Beyond Driven, for me, has become my favorite Pantera
Great
album
fucking
for
albums.
the past couple of months. I've really been digging that one. And then
The Great Southern Trendkill.
Great
Even
Southern
though-
Trendkill's been my favorite one.
Even
so
though the
far.
band was literally like,
That album is hard as
Hard.
fuck.
Dude, that is just.
I don't know how they did that album with the Abbott
Heroin.
Brothers in Dallas and
I'm just
the
gonna
Kid
say-
Ensemble in New Orleans, but they did it.
I just gonna say I had 2 number 6s, so I took the Beastie Boys off because Al
Okay.
picked them.
But dude, the Great Southern Trendkill, that album doesn't fucking stop.
It doesn't.
Fucking amazing.
It just bludges your head
Bludges
throughout
your
the
shit,
whole
man.
album. Man, Pantera was powerful in the 90s. They really, really were. And I like what they're doing. I do like what they're doing with what they're doing now. But if they didn't do it, I would have been okay with that too.
Just don't
Yeah.
release an album, please.
Yeah, don't.
I don't think they will.
No.
Yeah.
And,
I would.
and Selma was actually talking about getting Down back together and releasing.
Well,
it.
Down's
Well,
already
they've been
recording
back
her
together.
album. They're recording.
Down
Okay.
has been back together for a while.
Yeah, Down is recording a new album, dude.
Yeah, they're doing it right now.
Oh yeah,
which
it's like I'm
that
fine with Down. Down's
that keeps-
fantastic.
Down
Down is
keeps him
amazing.
busy. Charlie's busy with Anthrax. Zach's busy
Yeah.
with all of Zach's
With Zach.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think if they would have brought in a lesser drummer and a lesser guitarist, they might have done something new. But I don't think that Charlie and Zach would allow that.
No,
At all.
No.
So
Zach especially,
That's
I don't
fair.
think would.
all right, Joe, number 6.
All right, Mark, close your ears. My number 6 released 3 fantastic albums in the 1990s. Albums like King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, Album of the Year, and especially the masterpiece that is Angel Dust, and that is Faith No More.
Who?
Absolutely killer run of albums.
Enjoy.
Angel Dust especially is just an absolute masterpiece.
It is.
But people always sleep on King for a Day and Album of the Year, and I think both of those are phenomenal
I
albums
like
as well.
Easy.
They do a great cover of Easy. They do
And
a
they do.
phenomenal version.
I will
Midlife,
give that
Midlife
credit.
Crisis off of Angel Dust is an
Yes.
amazing
Mhm.
song. Yeah.
Mhm.
What was that red album cover they did with the dog on it?
That's King for a Day.
Yeah, I think we did a review of that, and I liked most of that album
Yeah, that's a phenomenal album.
because
Yep.
because he didn't over sing on that album.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Faith No More. They're not boring at all.
No, but Mike Patton does go really high for no reason sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's just him, and you can like it or you cannot, and that's okay, and that's perfectly fine. I
It's
really
fine.
enjoy it. I do like it.
It's really
Yeah, me
cool.
too.
I'm not downing it at all. I do like some Faith No More songs, but I hate most of it. So
That's fine. I do.
It's
I
just
do enjoy them
opinions.
quite a bit.
Opinions are opinions, man.
I think they were one of the more unique bands around at
They
that time.
they are. They
and
are.
I think
I
they
agree
made
with you.
a ton of. I love the way that they included multiple different kind of influences because you can hear something like Zappa coming in. You can hear something like you can hear the funk music from the '70s coming in. You can also, I mean, you listen to what he was doing with Mr. Bungle. He's a huge Van Halen fan. They did that amazing cover of Out of Control. And I think that just I love the way that they just meld with all these different influences together.
Yeah, they did a really good job of that. All right, Tim, what's your number 6, man?
My number 6 is the same avenue that my last band was on, Slipknot. Their debut album came out in 1999, but they went on to much more phenomenal success later on. System of a Down.
I agree with that shit. That's some great fucking band right there.
Tim, are you not going to be on next week?
I know.
Yeah, all the 2000
Like you're
bands.
blowing all of these amazing bands.
I know. 2000s is a hard one to you.
Maybe I just got better band for 2000s.
I'd
Maybe.
love to hear which ones you picked.
I know, because this one would have been in my 2000s, but now
not okay. But I'd love to see what you picked for 2000s. That's better than System of a Down than the 4 albums that they released in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Talk about
that'll have to be a lockdown pick for
I'd
me.
love to see it too.
Talk about blowing your load while you're walking.
You blew your load there.
Either he must just really not like the 90s, or he just doesn't care about the 2000s.
He's somewhere in the middle, man. But great picks.
You gotta remember,
Great
he's
pick.
still
Yeah,
in
great
the
pick.
hospital today. So.
That's also fair. That's fair.
Yeah, Spurs, man.
But to be fair, I will never clown someone picking System of a Down for anything. What a great band.
Great
What a
band.
great band.
One of the few new metal bands I like.
They're not new metal.
I thought they were.
They're not.
Okay.
No, they were System of a Down.
That's good.
That's about what they were.
All right, Mooger, what's your number 6?
Number 6 has been picked, and I couldn't agree with it more. That's why I have them number 6. They could have been number 1. They could have been anywhere between 6 and 1. But the original Cowboys from Hell, Pantera, land out my number 6 because in the 90s, and now I picked them. My rule was their major label debut had a hit in the 90s. I know they had like 4 independent releases before that, but holy shit. Cowboys, Vulgar, Far Beyond Driven, and Southern Tranquil, forget about it, man. I went down to see them maybe 3 weeks ago, and the entire trip, it's like an hour and a half trip, I just had Tranquil on repeat. It's so good. So good.
Yeah.
So
one of the biggest free-form videos on fucking the YouTube channel, dude. You fucking killed it on that, dude. Those live videos you put up
Pantera. Hear anything?
The thing, dude, they got 42,000 fucking views. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think some bot got a hold of that.
I don't think so, but fucking thank you, man. You pushed our channel, our YouTube channel, way up with those, man.
Awesome. Anyway, yeah, Pantera, man, I can't go wrong with that band.
Awesome. What about Fabio?
Yes, I'm going over to Fabio now, and you picked another one of my favorite bands, Suicidal Tendencies.
I almost picked them.
Yeah, what a great band! What a great band.
They could have just saw them this past weekend, and I hate to say that I was disappointed.
Oh,
okay.
They
you know,
were
because
not good. I love them. They were not good live.
So Mike Murr was probably he wasn't moving a lot, was he?
No, he was moving a lot.
I was being
All over the
sarcastic
place.
on that little comment.
You could not hear a word he was saying.
Maybe because it was a bad sound.
I heard somebody review and say that all year it's been like that. That his mic, he's been like purposely turning his mic down.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh wow!
And they literally they had a 40-minute set and played 6 songs.
Damn.
Wow.
And this is Suicidal Tendencies we're talking about.
Wow, how did that come about? What the hell?
They
did
played
do?
"You Can't Bring Me Down" for 15 minutes.
What the fuck?
Ah!
I'm not even joking.
Is this
Like,
a Suicidal Dead?
They'd end it. They'd end it, and then Mike would talk, and then they'd do the chorus again, and then they'd end it, and then Mike would talk, and they'd do the chorus again.
Wow, because
It
6
was-
songs
it was-
was 18 minutes.
And they didn't play Institutionalized.
Oh.
No.
It's
Ouch.
good to go to that website, Setlist FM,
Yep.
to see what you're going to be getting. I know you're gonna not have any surprises, but it gives you a good idea.
I am a frequent editor of Setlist FM, so I'm right there.
I'm
With
an editor.
I am. I'm the kind of person that goes. I sit there at the concert. Okay, they just played this song. They just played this song.
But it's good to go because you know about how long a show you're gonna get and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because with Priest and Alice Cooper, actually Alice Cooper plays more songs than Judas Priest, just so you know.
But yeah, I
So
love
hoping-
Suicidal Tendencies.
Well, Alice Cooper's
and I was
songs are a little bit
disappointed in
shorter
them.
than Judas Priest, though.
Oh, I know, but he's gonna have like just about as long as the show as
Yeah.
Judas Priest.
All right, Mark. Well, I think they should have almost the same equal amount because I
Yeah,
would.
they're basically like a co-headliner, yeah.
Cooper and Priest should be co-headliner easy.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe the
And they
time
are, I
was the
think.
same, but the songs were
Really?
Yeah.
lower, you know.
Well, Alice Cooper does a lot of medleys too. So.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Correct.
All right, Daly. What's your number 6?
Number 6, they've been mentioned already, and when I was seeing Def Leppard in Howard, Florida, Joseph was seeing this band with live, and I'm thinking like, you know what? I think I'd rather be at that show instead. But I did have a good time at Def Leppard. That's Collective Soul. I had
They were amazing.
Yeah, I gotta see them again because it's been since the 90s. It's been 30 years, so I gotta like mark off a lot of bands, you know.
They still sound so good live.
Mhm.
A lot of people are picking this band right now. That's fucking cool. I
Yeah,
love it.
but Collective Soul is a great band, great 90s band, you know.
Fuck yeah.
I
All right,
actually, but go ahead. The debut is I actually enjoyed the debut too. Go ahead, though.
All right, Mark. What's your number 6?
Somebody already picked Candlebox. They released 3 albums in the 90s. Fucking amazing. Great band. I love Kevin Martin. You guys want to check out some great fucking stuff he did outside of Candlebox? Check out The Gracious Few with members of Live. And he also did Kevin Martin and the High Watts. Really, he hasn't released a fucking bad album. The guy is amazing. I'm so sad they are retiring. He's retiring. I never got to see them. I did have tickets for them, and they canceled the tour, the show, and they did play in the desert. But I was like, like school night, couldn't go. I was so fucking pissed. I love Candlebox so much. One of my favorite bands. I put them in my top 20. Fucking love them. And Jerry's number 6? Everclear. Great pick, Jerry. I love Everclear. I didn't pick them because I knew you would, bitch. So Everclear rules and Scribble's all happy right now. So there you go.
Al's number 6. It's already been mentioned, but the Black Crowes. The Black Crowes were a great band. Well, they still are, but when they released "Shake Your Moneymaker," and then of course the great Southern Harmony musical companion and Amorica. Amorica is another great album. Did they release any others in the
They
90s?
released
Two
They
more,
released
actually.
4
They
albums.
released 5 albums in the 90s.
By Your Side, I think, was the other one.
By Your Side. That's right. And Lions was in the 90s or
Yeah.
already in the 2000s?
Lions? I don't know.
That might have been 99, I think.
Oh,
Lions
yeah.
are-
Lions is a great album, too. I'm going to look right now because I have it in my thing.
And mine
No, by Your Side and Three
No,
Snakes
Lions
and
was
One Song.
2001.
okay.
By Your Side was 1999.
And Three Snakes and One Charm.
3 Snakes and One Charm. Yeah, that was 1996.
And Amorca actually had its 30th anniversary, right?
Yeah, that was 94.
Yeah, they're releasing that box set right now, and it has the
Yeah.
the Tall album that they recorded and scrapped. I
That's
want it so
weird.
bad, but it's $99 on CD. And I'm like, fuck.
Whew.
Too expensive for me.
Mark, I'll download it and send it to you.
Thank you.
I'll stream it.
There we go.
All right, and so that was Al's, and my next pick. Oh, geez, which way am I going to go? I'm going to go. It's already been mentioned by Tim. I'm going to go with Foo Fighters
Nice.
as my number 6.
They might come up in another decade for me.
Their debut album, The Color and the Shape, there is nothing left to lose. Those 3 albums are their best albums. They did some pretty good ones in the early 2000s, but these 3 were fantastic. And also, these 3 albums, that's different from what they did in 2000s. All these 3 albums were completely different from each other.
Yep.
That is what made the Foo Fighters so good. They moved forward easily, and I wish I could put them higher, but I can't. So I put them at number 6 with Foo Fighters.
They just played a secret show in Santa Ana here, like at a club.
Oh yeah,
Fuck! I saw
They played a bunch of deep cuts, I think.
God, I was so fucking. I didn't know about it. I was so pissed off.
number 5, people. Number 5.
Number 5. I'm a little concerned with the picture that Mark Daly has as his background. I'm a little worried because
I already picked Iron Man. That's
I hope so, because there's no way that band should ever come up in a '90s conversation.
that's
Ever.
homage to Steve Harris.
Anything.
But you know, they look like twins, right?
Other than maybe the worst bands of the '90s.
No, come on.
They put out 4 albums in the '90s. 3 of them suck absolute donkey dick.
Dick.
Oh, God, No Prayer.
That's an amazing album. Fear of the Dark is an absolute dog shit album.
Oh, come
I
on.
love that album.
And then the 2 Blaze albums.
Fear of the Dark.
Oh, Blaze album
Very
horrible,
underrated. And actually,
There are
Mark,
2.
I think they reviewed it, and
There are two good songs on
They
Fear
gave
of
it
the
a
Dark.
thumbs up,
The song
by the
that
way.
opens up the album and the song that closes the album.
Wrong.
Everything else sucks.
The middle has some Bruce Dickinson style songs in there. Actually,
All right, just come on, guys.
Anyway, you're distracting me with that awful picture. Number 5. I could not go through a '90s list without picking my favorite country artist of all time,
Garth Brooks.
Had to pick him. Put out some amazing albums in the '90s. I wish his debut album came out in the '90s. That's my favorite Garth Brooks album, but that came out in '89, so that does not count for this list. But he put out some amazing albums in the '90s. Put out No Fences, Rope in the Wind, The Chase, In Pieces, Fresh Horses, and Sevens, all in the '90s. Some fantastic stuff. My favorite country artist of all time. Had to include him on my list.
Good one, especially in the '90s, because country pop or just country became so popular again in the '90s, and they all became stars again, and that's because of Garth Brooks.
Yep.
He really did. He really did open the door to neoclassical country. How he mixed them together, and he also wrote a lot of his own stuff. That's something that country musicians didn't do that much of. In that time period. All right, Tim, what's your number 5?
My number 5, I'm selling my rock and roll soul here, but I like this band a lot, even though they are very repetitive. Gin Blossoms.
Yeah.
Good pick. I
Some
like
great
that.
stuff.
I'm surprised Jerry didn't pick that.
Their greatest hits package is a really good greatest hits package.
Found Out About You is one of my favorite songs of the
Fucking
'90s.
Hey Jealousy. I love that fucking
Hey, Jealousy, great song.
Absolutely love that
Allison
song.
Road. Great shit, man.
Allison Road, yes, off that debut album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great fucking debut album.
I remember I had bought that album like right after Hey Jealousy came out. I said, oh man, this is gonna be good. And I was right. I think they're a good band, but they didn't make my list, but I do listen to them quite a lot.
Great.
All right, Mooger.
All right, number 5. Everybody else is doing it, so why can't we? I love the Cranberries. I heard them for the first time in the friend's car. We both worked at the same store where I worked on the warehouse in college. Man, they put in the song Pretty. And I was like, I have never heard anyone sing like this. I love it. Bought the CD, bought the second, bought the third, bought the fourth.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like the Cranberries, man. I think they warm my heart. And when I think of the '90s and my college years, I
Yeah.
think of the Cranberries, man. Rest in peace, Dolores.
The Dearly Departed was a good album. That was their second one, right? Or their third?
Yeah, no need to argue.
Oh, what was Dearly Departed? Their
Oh,
third?
Dearly Departed was a little bit later. I think that
Okay.
might have been the third one.
Okay, third one, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the first two I got them on vinyl. They're in heavy rotation. I
Yeah.
love them.
Oh wow.
Good band, man. Good band. Fabio's number 5. Eclectic band, amazing musicians. I could never grab onto them, but I know Fabio adores them, and that is Primus.
Oh, I was just thinking about them this morning because I was hearing them yesterday morning before I was going to work. Everybody always talks about the bass. Dude, that guitar work.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my god, dude.
And the drum work, the drumming.
Yes, for that 3-piece.
Yeah.
They got to keep up with the bass and the lyrics, and boy, dude, they go in every direction. I really do need to get more into Primus. I really do.
Yeah.
But I heard they suck, so I don't know.
Is the song about Winona Ryder or is it Winona Judd? The big brown beaver song. That's what I want to know.
I can tell exactly who that's for.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That was Fabio's number 5.
What was it?
Primus.
Good
Primus.
one. I like Primus.
All right, Mark Daly, what's your number 5?
I saw Primus open up for Rush, 1991, the Roll the Bones. My number 5, this band, these first 3 albums were just like fantastic, and even the singles, I would actually have to go find them because I loved a lot of the singles. They had like a single off the Singles movie, and they had Last Kiss and Yellow Ledbetter, great albums, Vitalogy, 10, talk about Pearl Jam, number 5.
Wow,
Okay.
good pick.
Yep, they're might be a little low for a lot of people, but they're my number 5.
They might be
They might be a little high for a lot of people.
I like Pearl Jam, but they kind of lost me as the decade progressed, though.
I didn't pick any of the big 4 of grunge, so these bands might come up later in other decades.
Well, I think you're up there, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, Mark, what's your number 5?
Everybody's gonna fucking shit on me for this one. They released 3 albums in the 90s. I love all 3 of these albums. Fucking Ugly Kid Joe, America's Least Wanted, fucking
that's a good pick.
Menace to Sobriety, and Motel California, man. I
know they have 3 albums though, but
no, they had 3 albums in the 90s. They released.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I didn't know they had that many in the 90s. That's cool.
And it's fucking. Everybody thinks about I Hate Everything About You. They got Neighbor. They got Panhandling Prince. They got lots of fucking.
I like that song. Jesus Rode a Harley.
Jesus Rode a Harley. That's off Motel
California. It's a great song. I love that
fucking
one.
Great fucking band. Whitford.
I can't believe you have them that high.
I love that band, man.
Yeah.
I love that band so much. And they're one of my favorite bands. I love Ugly Kid Joe. I love Whitford Crane's vocals. That guy fucking could sing the phone book. He's like fucking Robin Zander. The guy has a fucking voice. He was at Black Sabbath back to the beginning. The guy can fucking sing. I love Ugly Kid Joe.
His voice does nothing for me.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
So,
How about Jerry Supe?
Jerry's number 5 is Stone Temple Pilots, which a lot of people picked already.
Yeah. Al's number 5. Dream Theater. This is number 5.
I knew it'd be higher for him.
I got nothing to say about them.
I know you don't like them, Andy.
I wouldn't say I don't like them. I guess I just don't like them.
He doesn't not like them. He just doesn't like them.
Just doesn't like them, yeah.
Well, we're gonna enjoy it for you.
I just want to say it a little bit nicer. I
do. It's called Enjoy It.
I appreciate that.
Well, because I know that a lot of y'all love them.
Mark taking my line from me.
I guess I really didn't have to add my 2 cents. Oh My number 5. It's already been mentioned by Joseph, and I think us too. Maybe Mooger might add them in a little bit later on. Green Day with their debut album, Kerplunk. Kerplunk is amazing. Dookie, and then Insomnia, and they finished off the decade with Nimrod. Wow, Nimrod was the perfect album to end the decade. I know that everybody thinks, Green Day's three chord, three chord, three chord. You don't
They're
listen to
more than that.
They got so much more than that. Nimrod is all over the map, and it's so good. What I liked about Insomniac was that it was a completely different album from what they did with Dookie, because Dookie hit them big time international stars. They could have done another album like that, but no, they did it. They did a heavy punk rock album with Insomniac from beginning to end. I think it's like 29 minutes long. It's a great album. So Green Day is one of my favorite bands of the 90s. I had several friends of mine. We really did bond over Green Day.
I got into Green Day much later, but they are a great band.
I was supposed to go see them. I think I said the story before because my friend's brother was a concert promoter, kind of like Tim, and he brought down Green Day to Corpus Christi. This was before Dookie, and he tells me all the time, "I lost so much fucking money when I brought them down," and he did, because not that many people went to go see them. He believed in them, he loved them, but when you bring them to a conservative town like Corpus, where Billy Joe got into a fight with a overzealous security guard, and that messed up the performance of Billy Joel, because he kept on talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And
he does things like that.
yeah. And this was back in like 91 or 92, and he's still like that. So that's nothing new. But when I saw them for the what did I see them in? American Idiot tour. And I forgot the name of the album because it's just okay for me. I don't really go past the 90s for Green Day, except for their last album was really good. But that time between 2000 and 2020, oh my God, those were some of the worst albums I ever heard in my life.
Which one did you forget the name of?
Oh no, American
Idiot.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
I like their first two in the 2000s. I like Warning and I like American Idiot. And then
Warning.
The next ones are 21st Century Breakdown was just a lame rehash of American Idiot. Uno, Dos, and Trey are awful.
Yeah, our dog shit
Revolution Radio, and then especially that Father of All.
Oh my God, the Father of All.
And then thankfully they put out Saviors, and that's an amazing album.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys on all that.
My favorite, I picked the best possible tour to see Green Day, because they played all of Dookie, all of American Idiot, a bunch of stuff off the new album, and like the best stuff from the other good albums. They played stuff off like Insomnia. They played Brain Stew and Jaded, and
I love Brain Stew.
Like some of the good hits from the 90s that weren't
like Jar.
Yeah.
They were a great band in the 90s. I absolutely loved them, and I still love to spin their music. I do it quite often. All right, Joseph, number 4.
All right, my number 4 released 3 fantastic albums in the 90s. Their first album that they released in the 90s was what blew them up, and it is one of my favorite albums of the decade. Grunge My Ass, Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, Super Unknown, and Down on the Upside. Just 3 fantastic albums. So many hits, so many great songs, so many deep cuts. Just what a band. Chris Cornell, just absolutely one of the best vocalists of all time. Tim Thales' guitar work, Matt Cameron's drums, just such a great, phenomenal run of albums. Even going back into the 80s with Louder Than Love. I mean, just what a great band, and a band that everyone lumps in with the grunge movement. And they're the ones that sing Black Hole Sun, right?
Right. Yeah.
Put on Bad Motorfinger and go shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's
No.
our review. That's on Freeform right now, so check that out.
Because
And
that
that's
is a
the
heavy
beginning.
metal album.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's from beginning to end. That's a 90s metal album. And dude, that's another one. Just like we were talking about Pantera, that's an album that bludgeons your head
Yeah.
from beginning to end. You don't think of them
With
being
some really cool progressive stuff in there too.
Soundgarden and Pantera were on my list, but I took them off because I knew you guys are going to pick these bands. Same thing with Alice in Chains. I go, I need to pick bands that nobody's going to pick, but I did pick bands a lot of guys did pick. So
You can have doubles. I don't think it's a road.
but nobody's going to pick Great White Dream.
Yeah, but
In
make your
Excess,
list.
Love, Hate.
Make your list be honest to you, Mark. That's what
It was
that's what,
honest to me because I love all these bands.
That's true, but you don't mention some of the bands that you love the most because other people pick them.
No, I love these bands just as much as Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's just as good for me. Pearl Jam. I love these bands just as much. You know. Did I skip a band? I think I skipped a band.
You should have skipped Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. No,
I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing. I couldn't let that pass.
I think my number 6, I didn't pick Damn Yankees. My number 6 was Damn Yankees.
Well, then mention them coming up. Just hold your mouth.
I'll hold
and
my
put them
mouth.
at your number 4.
Okay. That's fine.
Like, it's your show. You can say it.
Already did my number 4 was no Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah, well, then just make Damn Yankees your number 4, Mark.
Whatever. Okay.
All right, Tim, did you do your number 4?
Yeah, the Gin Blossoms.
Jim
But
yeah.
you didn't.
No.
Tim didn't do his number 4. I just did my number 4.
Right, Tim.
So now it's Tim's number 4.
Sure.
I'm confused.
My number 4 or number 3?
Number 4.
4.
All right, my number 4 is everybody says this band is from New York, and members are from New York, but they formed in Boston, my hometown. And they've already been mentioned, so I'm just going to mention them again. Dream Theater.
Nice.
The Berklee College of Music.
That's it.
I didn't know that that's where they came from. I didn't know they stemmed out of the Northeast.
Yeah, they all went to college together.
I don't want to sound like ancient, but I am. I actually saw one of their first shows at Toad's Place in New Haven, Connecticut. That was the Images and Words tour.
That wouldn't have been one of their first shows. They were together in the 80s.
Yeah,
they were together in the 80s.
They did a tour off the first album.
Well, they were touring before that when they were still Majesty.
No, but I'm just saying I caught them like the very beginning though.
Well, that wasn't their first. That wasn't even their first. That wasn't even their first album.
No, the first album.
Oh yeah,
they did that first album with the guy. I don't think they did any shows with that guy. I don't know.
With Dominici, yeah, they did.
Not many.
Okay.
Actually. They did. Anyway,
All right, Mooger. Number 4.
Who's up?
Mooger.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's honest, like Joe, you're saying, it just has to be honest to you. Who do you pick? How do you feel? This band could have easily been number 1. No good reason they're not. But these are my boys. I love them. And I went with 7 for my number 4.
Great band.
I went to like every single Ozfest there ever was. And one of the sampler CDs we got on our way out had like Deftones and other, like, a lot of the bands that were on this bill. And it was one of the larger Ozfests. There were a lot of bands, but 7 had their song on there, and I think it was Black, and it was a great song. And I've just fell in love with them. Got the debut, and I've had everything they've released since. They're like one of my top 10 bands of all time, and great dudes, man. I have met them so many times. And they're always a fun hang. Lejean is the sweetest, most kind, down-to-earth person you'll ever meet. And why wouldn't he be? Because, they're not huge. But, yeah, man. So 7 is my number 4. And like I said, they could have been number 1, but they're my number 4. And we move to Fabio Vegas. His number 4 is one of my favorite bands. They definitely made my honorable mention. Typo Negative. They released some really good stuff. You have Bloody Kisses. One of my favorite records is October Rust. And I think they even released World Coming Down or Life is Killing Me. One of those also came out in the 90s. But yeah, man, what do you guys think about Typo?
Yeah, great band.
Yeah, I saw them during. I don't know if it was an Ozfest, but it was a small show in Corpus, and 90. Oh, geez, it must have been 94 or 95. It was Ozzy, Sepultura, Typo Negative, and somebody else, but it was just them four. So it might have been like it wasn't called Ozfest. In fact, I think it was a No More Tours or No More Tours was the show. But yeah, man, I dig them. I like their deep rooted, um, bottomless rhythm. It's badass.
Yeah.
All right, was that Fabio's or yours?
That was Fabio's. Well, Seven
Fabio.
Dust was mine, but yeah.
Yeah, Seven Dust is a good band too. I like
Yeah,
Seven Dust.
but Typo Negative. Yeah, that was Fabio's number 4. Very solid. Very solid.
All right, Mark Daly, what's your number 4?
My number 4 band hasn't been mentioned yet. Some solid albums in the 90s. Mental Jewelry, Throwing Copper, and
Live.
Snotty Live. That's my number 4.
Oh, good band, dude. Yeah,
Good band,
Good
yeah.
band. Very good band.
yeah. And their radio hits were good too, but man, they really had some really good hidden tracks, especially on that Secret Sahidian album. Man, that was so good. And then you didn't expect an album by them like that.
Exactly.
It was really good. All right, Mark, what's your number 4?
Mark fucked up because he should have. I put 12 on here, so I had to
That's all right.
I had to delete the Beastie Boys, and I fucked up and missed this band, but they're pretty high because I was listening to both these albums in the 90s, and I saw them twice in the 90s, opening up for Bad Company on the Holy Water tour. Damn fucking Yankees. I love that fucking band. I love Tommy Shaw. I love Jack Blades. I love fucking Ted Nugent. It's a fucking
Super group.
perfect super group. Both albums are amazing. Not one bad album. I wish they would get back together and do something, but I don't
They
think it's
won't.
going to happen. But damn
Tommy
Yankees,
Shaw
man.
won't.
Yeah, it's Tommy Shaw holding the fucker up. Fucker.
Well, if we're being honest, and I'll do this because Jerry's not here this week and he probably won't watch this. When I saw Styx last month, Tommy's voice was starting to go.
Oh man.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wow,
a little bit. You
horrible.
could hear it starting. Like he was even till up until like last year when he'd sing, you'd hear him hit those high notes with such strength still, and it was starting to. He wasn't hitting with the same power that he has, and I think that he's 100% behind Styx because he's just going to do that, and he doesn't want to try to split his time. He doesn't want to try to really just grind his voice down by trying to do 2 different bands at once.
maybe if he was younger, but you're right. I mean,
He's 76 now, so
Yeah, because let's be honest, Ted Nugent doesn't tour anymore. Styx tours a hell of a lot more than Night Ranger does. Night Ranger still tours, but not nearly as many dates a year as Styx.
right.
So with the amount of stuff that Styx does, Tommy Shaw is not going to give that up to reform Damn Yankees.
No.
Yeah.
As much as we'd all love it, because I love Damn Yankees.
No. So Jerry's number 4, you guys already talked about it, Alice in Chains. So we're on number 3, right?
No, we're not.
Okay, we're
Nope.
still on number 4.
Yeah, I'm still at number 4 with me and Al.
Okay.
Al's number 4. It's gonna be Pantera. I just talked about Pantera, and in fact, that was the first podcast that we ever did together, Al and I.
Nice.
Well, not just did together, but that's where we first met. Oh, hi, I'm Andy. Hi, I'm Al. So we did Pantera. So my number 4. I might have to look at this real quickly so I can get my numbers right. My number 4 has already been mentioned. Stone Temple Pilots. I'm a big Stone Temple Pilots fan. I saw them for the Purple tour and saw them for the Tiny Vatican tour.
Nice.
Songs for the Tiny Vatican. Give shot. But those three plus Volume 4. I say Volume 4. It's not Volume 4. It's just number 4.
Number 4.
Just number 4, Volume 4. 4 great albums, and it's so right because they should not be lumped up with anybody else. They're from San Diego. They had their own different sound. They had their own different vibe.
New Jersey, San Diego, man.
And boy, it was a way different vibe than they had from everybody else. So Temple Pilots are number 4 for me. All right, guys, we're already in top 3. Number 3, Joe.
All right, well, it's been mentioned quite a bit, and I completely agree. Pantera. Those 4 albums they put out in the 90s were absolutely incredible. When I was really getting into heavier music in my teenage years, I was buying like any cheap metal CD on Amazon, which is how I ended up with let's see, these shitty albums. That's how I ended up with this crap.
Fuck you! I love all 3 of those.
These were all $5 a piece on Amazon.
I love those albums.
They're probably worth a lot more now. You should try to sell them.
I doubt it. But another album that I got for really cheap that I just fell in love with was Cowboys from Hell.
Great album.
I just absolutely fell in love with that album. And I went in and discovered even more because, I mean, they get progressively heavier. Cowboys from Hell is a heavy album, but it's nothing compared to what Vulgar Display was. Vulgar Display is nothing compared to what Far Beyond Driven was. Yeah. And then, by God, what do you think they bashed your head in enough? You put on Great Southern Trendkill and just get destroyed. Yes. And it's just, as I continue to listen to these albums, they just had a huge impact on me getting into heavier music. And I absolutely love all those albums so much. Great Southern Trendkill is such an underrated album. Far Beyond Driven is just beyond amazing.
Great Southern Trendkill is going to be a freeform review one day. I love that fucking album.
Just some amazing stuff, and the band that carried the flag for metal in the 90s, and proudly so.
They said Metallica abandoned you. We are the metal.
Yeah,
yeah,
and they did everybody proud.
Yeah, at that time. All right, Tim, what's your number 3, man?
My number 3 is Soundgarden. They've already been mentioned to death, so. But they had some killer albums in the 90s.
Cool. Oh, yeah. They really did.
Yeah.
All right, Mooger.
My number 3, it's already been mentioned, but once again, no good reason why they are not at number 1. But I went with Alice in Chains for my number 3. I mean, everything they released in the 90s was pure magic to me. Yeah. I love Sap. I love Jar of Flies. I love Facelift. I love Dirt. I love the self-titled Tripod, whatever you want to call it, man. Man, in my mind, when I think of Alice in Chains, I'm thinking 90s. And I'm thinking what 90s meant to me at that time. Yeah, so there's very good reason they've been mentioned a few different times in the top 11 list. And Fabio went with an interesting band that I am zero familiar with overall. Bad Brains.
I heard a band.
I know some stuff from them.
Yeah,
those are the ones that started the mosh pit, right? The mash.
That would have been Black Flag.
Black Flag. No, I thought Bad Brains did the wash.
It was like you were listening to Decibel Geek.
Yes, I was.
Beat the Geek, and I believe it was Black Flag.
It's Black. That's Black. It's definitely Black Flag.
I thought it was.
Black Flag was the early '80s, and that the mosh pit was definitely around by the late '80s.
Started the mosh pit.
Oh God, Mark.
Who just started calling it the mosh pit, right?
It says HR. It says HR, the vocalist of the hardcore band Bad Brains, coined the frame mash pit, and then he changed it to mosh pit. So it was Bad Brains. There you go. I was listening to Decibel Geek. Yeah.
You did not bet against me, so you get
a point.
1 point.
I hope you're listening, Chris. I do listen to you, Chris. There you go.
Yeah. All right, where are we at?
Number 3, somewhere.
Yep. We're at Tim, right?
I think we're Mark Daly.
Mark Daly?
Daly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Number 3, they've been mentioned a few times already. Soundgarden. I remember mostly about them is seeing them on tour is the bass player Ben Shepherd would keep his bass like almost near his like kneecaps and stuff like that. So that's a very awkward way of playing. But yeah, great live act. Chris Cornell. He sounded just great studio live for me. He always brought it. Great voice. So great band. So number 3, Soundgarden.
Mark, number 3.
Everybody's picked Soundgarden, so I kind of went away from it because I knew people had picked this. One of my favorite bands of all time, Mr. Big. They had 3 great albums in the 90s. They had Lean Into It, Bump Ahead, and Hey Man. It's like they are considered a shredder band. Everybody pins them into fucking Just Take a Hold of My Heart or fucking Be With You. But they have some fucking A Little Too Loose. A lot of great fucking shredder songs that fucking kick ass. This band.
Paul Gilbert, man, great guitar.
I don't know
Gilbert,
if I've ever,
Billy
I don't know
Sheehan.
if in my life I've ever heard somebody say Mr. Big is a shredder band.
They are considered a shredder band, dude. They are.
I
Go
saw
look at
Mr. Big
Wikipedia.
open for Rush, and Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert did like freaking some solos back and
Shred.
forth.
They
Yeah,
shred.
that was
they're
pretty
they're
impressive.
amazing
I'll
musicians.
say.
I don't know if I've ever heard them say that they're a shredder band.
Go look at Wikipedia. They call them a shredder band. So it's
Because
fucking.
I put that
Well,
in.
if Wikipedia says so.
I actually wrote that. You like that?
Mark wrote that.
All right, so I picked Mr. Big as my number 3.
I do edit on Wikipedia though.
I want Scary's number 3.
Number 3, Soundgarden. Everybody's picked them.
Yeah.
I agree with that pick though.
Yeah. Al's number 3. Wow, Soundgarden.
Everybody picks Soundgarden.
Everybody picked Soundgarden and Alice in Chains so
amazing.
far.
I didn't pick Soundgarden or Alice in Chains for that matter either. My number 3, right? I'm gonna go with Smashing Pumpkins. Gish,
almost picked them.
Timing Dreams, Pisces Iscariot, which was a collection of their B-sides. And then Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. They also came out with Adore. But let's not forget about the great box set, Aeroplane, which had 7 singles in it, and each single had about 5 or 6 B-sides to each CD, and they gave it to you in like this little holder carrier, like a little carrier where you would hold old style 45s, but they were filled with little CDs, and they released it. I think it's like 96 tracks, and it's fantastic stuff. It's amazing what this band did on B-sides. So Smashing Pumpkins, my number 3. Joe, number 2.
All right, my number 2, the band formerly known as Majesty, but you might know them better as Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Had to include them for the 90s, like everyone was saying. Images and Words, Awake, Change of Seasons, Falling into Infinity, and then Metropolis Part 2.
And the live album they did too.
I mean, they didn't put out a good live album in the 90s, in my opinion. I hated Once in a Lifetime because they cut up Change of Seasons and put it throughout the album. It was not good. And that was when James LaBrie had the most of his vocal problems. Not great in my opinion. Their first really great live album was Metropolis 2000.
Yeah.
That was the first live album and then went on the run of that.
Live at Luna's good
live
too.
At Budokan and Live at Luna Park and Score and all those.
Yeah.
But those are all 2000s.
And fucking the Budokan was good too.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Okay. Yeah. But for me, the 90s was the studio stuff. Images and Words, Awake, Change of Seasons. I'm not a huge fan of Falling into Infinity, but then they closed out the decade extremely strongly with Metropolis Part 2.
Yeah.
I'm a big Dream Theater fan, but I disagree. I think the band has gotten better. They've aged like wine, honestly.
They have. Well, as soon as
but you guys,
like
I respect your picks though, but I didn't pick up in the 90s.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick the Mancini era? I'm just asking. All right.
Well, Jordan Rudess too, man.
Okay.
Jordan he was on Metropolis.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that the decades following, I thought the band got better.
I thought
Okay.
they got very spotty after the 90s.
No, I disagree. No.
I have not
They
liked a
got
full
tighter actually
I have
too.
not liked a
We'll
full
get
Live
in,
album
at
from them
the
we'll
since
live,
get
you
the
even
we'll
said
NWO.
that
get
the live
into
album
that
wasn't
in
that
the
good. The
next.
live
We'll
albums actually
get
gotten
maybe
better.
The
we'll
live
get
albums got better.
Yeah.
The studio albums got
And
worse
they
in my
and they
opinion.
did some phenomenal covers. You should listen
They
to
did.
Stargazer.
They
we'll
do. Oh, they
get
do a great
into
version of
that in the
Stargazer.
next decade. So
I think they played
no
to Tame a
spoilers.
Land.
No spoilers.
They played to Tame a Land better than Iron Maiden. You gotta listen to it.
They do. They do. They
It's
do. They do
better
a
than
great
Iron
version.
Maiden, actually. You gotta listen to it. It's
No
phenomenal.
spoilers.
That disc of bonus tracks on Black Clouds is a great
Oh
Yeah.
set
fuck
of
yeah.
The
covers.
Queen.
Mm-hmm. They do
Awesome.
Tenement
Tenement,
Fonster and
yeah,
Flick of the
Tenement
Wrist.
Fencer,
Mm-hmm.
Freckle the Wrist, yeah.
So
All right, no
anyway,
spoilers for the next decade.
sorry.
All right, Tim. Let's have a little preview for the next week.
My number two, it's this band's been mentioned over and over again, but they're still fucking phenomenal. From Texas, Pantera.
Yeah, they're just one of those bands that everybody's going to name, and for good reason. They're a fantastic band.
They kept metal
That's why
alive in the
I
90s,
didn't
as
need
far
to
as I'm
put them on my
concerned.
list because everybody's putting them on their list. So
Well, yeah, because they're one of the best bands.
they are one of the best bands of the 90s. I
Mhm.
will give you guys that. A rule. So
All right, Mooger, you're number two.
All right. I love this band. And if anybody stopped after their first single off the first album, you missed so much. My pick is Blind Melon. They released two amazing records in the 90s, the debut and Soup. And I just think both of these albums are classic. I think it's a classic band. Shannon Gone Too Soon. I've seen Blind Melon live, but it was with their new singer. I really wish I would have seen them with Shannon. But yeah, my number two is Blind Melon. They could have also been anywhere in my top six.
check out our review with Tim and on the Freeform Rock podcast.
Yeah, I'll tell you what to really think about Blind Melon.
Yeah, we won't talk about that now. Go listen to that episode.
Yes, that was a very, very fun episode.
It was.
It was merciless, but it was fun. So we get to Fabio Vegas's number two.
Number two.
Big surprise here, Pantera. And
We don't
need to.
Everybody's gonna pick Pantera. It's like,
Yeah, we don't need to go around the room on this one. It's Pantera. Fabio, we love you. Great number two.
Yeah. All right, Mark Daly, what's your number two?
Pantera. All I gotta say about it was the last show I saw before 9/11. It was like the summer of 2001, and Slayer opened for Pantera, and it was a great show. But unfortunately, a month later, so I'll say this is Pantera.
All right, Alden Taylor, number two.
number two. Band I fucking love that nobody really cares for on this show. I bought all three of these albums on release dates. I love them. I love this band. I love It's Extreme. They released three great albums in the 90s. Extreme.
Well, three?
They released three sides to every story in 93 and 1995, Waiting for the Punchline, which we did a review with the great Al Horta, Waiting for the Punchline on Freeform. So
I'm still waiting to hear the great albums they released.
I respectfully disagree.
Those three albums are amazing. Nuno is a fucking guitar god, and I don't care what you guys think. I love them. I love everything they've ever done. I bought everything they've ever done, and they fucking rule. I'm sorry you guys don't like Gary. I love Gary.
I will agree with you that Nuno is a great guitar player.
Yeah,
I agree with that too.
I hate their music. It's not Gary Schroen. It's not Gary Schroen. It's the songs.
I love all the songs. They are fucking groovy. And if we are on Freeform, I tell you guys to take a shot. But we're not.
All right. What about Jerry?
Jerry is number two. Is the Black Crowes.
Okay.
Nice.
Number two for Al, he did King's X, which is a big surprise there. King's
Of
X
course
is
he did.
number two. And my number two is going to be the only band I picked out of the Seattle grunge scene, Pearl Jam. They released 10, great album. Versus, great album. Vitology, No Code, Yield, and then they finished off the year with a live album called Live on Two Legs, which was a great live album. It's a classic rock band. That's who Pearl Jam is.
I agree with you, and
And
I didn't pick them. I wanted to give you that, Andy. I wanted you to pick them
Thank you so much.
because you know how much I love Pearl Jam.
Right, right. And they were just one of the best bands to come out of the '90s, in my opinion. They ruled. They ruled the 1990s with their albums. There were great tracks. They also had big hits, and they were all over the radio. So Pearl Jam, number 2. All right, guys, here we are with number 1. All right, let's do this.
Shake your hands, man. Get your rubbing hands, man.
All right, number 1, Joseph, your number 1 favorite band or artist of the 1990s, and it can't be DJ Jazzy Jeff for the Fresh Prince. Just throwing that out.
Because parents just don't understand.
Well, let me change my list real quick. Shit, I didn't expect this.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you a curveball there.
Yeah, I mean, the short gave it away. It's Alice in Chains. Like that can't really deny that. I mean, of all the bands in the 90s, they are the band that I think had the most impact on my musical taste, the most consistent releases between the 3 studio albums, the 2 EPs, the unplugged album, the live album. Just so much amazing stuff, plus the stuff from like B-sides, the single soundtrack, just all kinds of amazing releases. Just, I mean, Facelift and Dirt by themselves, but then you add in the underrated 3rd album, and you add in Sap and Jar of Flies. I mean, such an amazing decade. And then even the post-Lane stuff, not the 90s, but even they're still an amazing band and just absolutely solid. Absolutely love Alice in Chains. Immediately when I sat down to write this list, they're the first band I wrote down. So I had to put them at my number 1.
Good pick.
Yeah, if you want some more Lance Daly, look up Mad Season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That album was phenomenal.
Good album.
Good album, too.
That was released in the 90s. Very good album. All right, Tim, what is your number 1 band of the 90s?
Like Joseph, this band was the first band I put down on my list. And I've been a fan of theirs since their debut EP. And I'm still a fan of theirs, and I still say they're a fucking amazing band, and I love everything they've ever done. Tool.
Good pick. Good pick. Mooger, you're number 1.
All right. Once again, no real good reason, but a million as well why this artist is number 1 on my list. Marilyn Manson. I think he just released solid music through the 90s. I think Antichrist Superstar is probably one of my favorite albums of the 90s, in general. I mean, that album was so good. I don't skip one intro, one song, one outro, in between bullshit. That fucking album is a masterpiece, in my opinion. I love it. And I saw him a few times in the 90s when it was still dangerous to see Marilyn Manson. They took you in through the basement. They took all your smokes away, your knives, your guns, your drugs. And then you got to go up to the upper level and see him. So it was, yeah, man, fucking love Marilyn Manson. And I'll go for Fabio Vegas's number 1, and I cannot argue this at all. The Mighty Megadeth. It's Fabio's number 1.
Rest in Peace.
I'll just mute myself real quick.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, they had some solid albums in the 90s.
I almost picked Metallica, but they only have one good album in the 90s.
I was
same with Megadeth, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Fabio's number 1.
All right, Mark Daly, what's your number 1, man?
My number one, I'm gonna throw a curveball at everybody here, but I'm gonna go with. Oh shoot, I don't have it. I'm gonna go with the Spin Doctors.
What?
Nice.
You're fucking with us. You're fucking
One,
with us.
two, Princess Knew before you. No, just kidding. Alice in
That's
Chains,
what I
man.
say,
Alice in,
man.
and this
I
is
was gonna slap a
crazy.
bitch there, right there. I was gonna fuck you. You ain't coming on the show anymore.
Watch the beginning of Love and Other Drugs. It's a funny intro. They play two princes, but yeah, Alice in Chains. Joseph and I disagree all the time, but for the third decade in a row, Black Sabbath, Metallica, and Alice in Chains. But still don't know how the heck he could pick REM above Iron Maiden. Redo that. That's
Because they were much more
blasphemy.
consistent. Because they were much more consistent in the 80s.
No. And where is Judas Priest? Come on.
They crossed 2 decades for me.
Oh, I think they should have been in the list.
I would put Judas Priest much higher than a lot of the bands I had on my 80s list, but they just they split up their best albums.
All right, okay. I got Judas Priest in the 80s. So, but anyway, Alice in Chains. I know I got best for the show. Spin Doctors are in the background, but that's just I'm just having fun.
He's fucking with me.
That's cool.
Oh, little Mark can't be wrong.
Did you actually fall for it for a second or no?
No, I did not.
All right,
Mark's not
Mark,
happy.
all right, Mark Allen Taylor. What's your number one in the 1990s?
4 albums in the 90s. One of my favorite bands of all times. Fucking Jerry put it at number 2, and I go, what the fuck? You put this band at number 2, dude. You guys got Soundgarden. You guys got Alice in Chains. You guys got a lot of these great 90s. Pantera. I didn't pick them because I wanted to pick bands that none of you guys have picked, like Love Hate, Great White, NXS, Candlebox, Ugly Kid Joe. I want to pick Extreme and stuff like that because we'll get a plethora of different musical things going in the 90s, and that's fucking cool. But there's bands I need, like Collective Soul, Dream Theater, I needed to pick, and the Black Crowes. They are my favorite band of the fucking 90s. With 4 fucking albums: Shake Your Moneymaker, Southern Harmony, A Musical Companion, Amorica, Three Snakes and a Charm, and By Your Side. Fucking 4 great fucking albums in a row. And they are still making great music today.
Oh, actually.
And this band fucking rules. I will give it to the Black Crowes. They belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know why they didn't get in there, but they belong there. This is one of the greatest bands of all fucking time. They played with fucking Jimmy Page. My God. They fucking rule. And I want that Amorica box set so bad, but it's $99. So if any of you guys get that, send it to me. I love it.
I'll be able to find the digital version. Don't worry.
I will find it.
I'll make a deal. Buy me a Duran ticket, and I'll send you the.
Oh, fuck that fucking shit. Fuck me up.
The Duran ticket costs more.
No, dude. I bought 2 tickets for Duran for like $155, and then I fucked up. I thought I bought parking, but I bought the VIP fucking shit for $165, and Ticketmaster wouldn't refund me that shit. So I had to go buy another one for my girlfriend because I ain't going in there without her. So I fucking paid a lot of money to see Duran. But at least it has a wine and beer bar and an unlimited buffet. So that'll work.
That sounds nice.
And then Jerry, I don't know why you picked this band number 1. They are fucking great, Jerry. Black Crowes is much better than Collective Soul, but you picked Collective Soul at number 1.
Collective Soul is better.
No.
No,
in my opinion.
Nirvana, I don't think, right?
No, they're not better than Black Crowes.
No. I love Collective Soul a lot, but the Black Crowes just have the soul. They don't have the soul that Collective Soul has. But that's our episode, man. And
no, it's not. Mark, you're not last.
Oh, I'm not last. Who's last? Oh.
Andy's got to go.
Al's number 1. Al's number 1 has been said, and said number 1 as well. His is also Alice in Chains. My number 1.
Wow, who would guess that?
My number 1 should not be a surprise. This is why I didn't want to talk about Tom Petty earlier today. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, number one for me of the 1990s. I know that Full Moon Fever was in 89, but I'm going to count it as 1990 because that was the feel of it, was in the 90s.
A lot of the singles came out in 1990, yeah.
Yeah, he also had Wildflowers, Into the Great Wide Open, She's the One, Echo, A Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
I mean, he was all over the place in the 1990s. And I listened to his music a lot when I was between the ages of 14 and 24. And let me tell you, like Mark was saying on Black Spinner, I relate a lot to what Tom Petty says in his music and in his lyrics. And when we lost him, it was a shame because we've talked about this before. His last two albums were some of the best albums he ever put out. He was moving forward with his music. And that's something to say with someone who started, his debut album was what, 78, 79?
Yeah.
77.
77,
76.
36.
And look how we're talking about him in the 90s, releasing 6 albums as a solo artist and with the Heartbreakers and a motion picture soundtrack, which he says they were all just throwaway songs that he gave them. And to me, when they put them together, it's a top 5 Tom Petty album, period. She's the One. So that is my number one, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
I just got to say, it was so hard to like put Tom Petty in any decade. It's like, I love all decades that he's ever been in. And I had to pick one. And this is what's so good about us doing this. I had to put him in the 80s, you know?
Yeah. I liked him more in the 90s because that was my era. That was my period. That's when new songs were coming out for me, for my generation.
Mine is when I saw Pack at the Plantation and stuff like that. The live albums, the videos and stuff. That was my Tom Petty.
Right. Me especially was when he released Full Moon Fever, and
yeah.
also
that was in the 80s. That was my 80s.
Into the Great Wide Open.
Great Wide Open, great out, dude.
They were playing
that
almost
dude never made a bad album, dude. He never made a bad album.
Most of that's a little played out, I think, but Into the Great Wide Open, a lot of those songs were played on the radio. Deep tracks off that album were being played on the radio.
Making some noise, man.
It was a big release for him. God, so that's my number one. I've got no honorable mentions, or unless y'all do.
I don't either. I don't have any honorable mentions. I try to keep it tight.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm just going to say thank you guys for being on this episode. But what do you got to promote, Andy?
Right now, Black Spider Circle is on Tuesdays with me and Al Horta. It looks like we might have the guys from Dig are going to be on our next episode. We're excited about that. They were a band that also came out in the 90s, alternative rock band. And Al's been friends with a couple of them, so they'll be on our show for a Q&A and where the band has been and where they are going. So, and then I'll be here next week for the 2000s.
All right, Joseph.
Yeah. First and foremost, Heavy Water 77. We just had our Paradise Theater episode come out this past weekend. Really great time talking about that album. Such a great album. We're going to be moving here pretty soon into a more controversial period of Styx. So hopefully everyone enjoys what we talk about that. And it might not be some nice talk when we get to some of this stuff, but we're actually going to be doing something when Jerry gets back from vacation. We're going to be recording an episode, hopefully in the evening, coming up here soon, kind of talking about the boom period of Styx, the classic period, and having some guests on talk about what they think about all those albums. Memories of that classic period of Styx. So keep an eye out for that in the future. And then starting next Sunday, officially Sunday, October 5th, I will be starting my radio show on Cranium Radio Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm really excited to start that.
All right, Mooger.
Good luck to you on that. That's going to be great. I will be tuning in. And while I'll put Sunday Night Football on mute and listen to our friend Joseph Staub.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
At Joe's Garage. Joseph
Yep.
Staub's Garage. I'm sorry, Frank Zappa Trust Fund. I meant to say Joseph Staub's Garage.
Yeah, definitely not Joe's
No,
Garage.
no.
Definitely not. No copyright there.
All
I
right,
can already
Mooger.
feel them knocking at my windows.
I saw Joe Travers speaking in my back window yesterday. They're coming for me. They're coming for me.
All right, Mooger, you got Freeform tomorrow. We got that shit going. We got what is it? We're doing tomorrow Static X Wisconsin versus Slipknot self-titled, which is called Joseph Staub was on that album. And Mooger, I fucking love you. You rule. I'm promoting for you.
Thank you.
Let's all clap. Mooger made it through BS sessions.
Mooger, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Mooger. He fucking rules. I hope one day that you will drink with me one day, maybe.
Well, let's not be proud I made it through an episode. Let's just be thankful that I didn't bail, just go dark and leave.
So. I hate it when you go dark. That's
why we said we're proud, because we're happy you're here. We love having you on.
Oh, yes. I'm happy to be here. I'm going to run down against the rules real quick. Honorable mentions. Do not need to mention anything about them. Stabbing Westward, Dishwalla, Oasis, Fear Factory, Meshuggah, and Dave Matthews Band. I love
Dave
them.
Matthews.
I love.
And I know I'd be buried if I had to admit that on my top 11 take up space. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah, I like Dave Matthews too. I saw them with Blues Travelers. Blues Travelers almost made my list.
All right, so next week on the BS sessions, we are moving into the decade of the 2000s. What will we pick? We don't know. Mooger, if you want to be on there, you can be on the 2000s.
I know, I literally don't know right now.
So get your list ready. I got a couple bands that I'm thinking about, but thank you guys.
I already have most of my 2000s list written out. I did it kind of in tandem with the 90s, because I was starting to think of similar bands.
I've got about halfway done with my list.
Damn, you guys are way ahead of me.
I have about 9 bands listed already.
2000 was a little easy for me too.
So check out the Freeform Rock podcast tomorrow. It's Static X Wisconsin versus the self-titled Slipknot album. I might have liked some of it. I might not have liked any of it. So check it out. So
for someone to say the full title, it's Static X Wisconsin Death Trip versus the self-titled
okay, yeah, I fucked up on that. But let's get the fuck out of here, guys. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna have a great weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Let's get the fuck out of here. Later, guys. See you guys next week. Bye.